It haunts her in her sleep, Beverly. A terrifying presence who wants her soul and will kill anyone who stands in his way. Be together, always. Now, will his seductive power take possession of Dr. Crusher?
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Or can she escape his deadly clutches?
Come on, Beverly, we've got to get out of here.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Hey, my name's Rachel Antral. I play Commander Non on Star Trek Discovery. Welcome to Timeline Talks.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timeline Talks. Featuring guest stars. The fact of the matter is, oh my, it's stars and garters. Also featuring, more like Command Dip Suck, look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, there's no way he gets this intro right. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Ooh. Oh,
hey,
sorry,
Idol, what you're reading there?
Reading a particularly erotic part of a journal from my grandmother's journal. Damn it, I didn't get the line right. Welcome to Timelines Talks, everyone. Number 69.
You literally said there's no way you get this intro right.
It'll have to happen eventually. Welcome to Timelines Talks number 69, 420 Blazer. We are here to celebrate the wonder that is Sub Rosa. I am even in my Lothario Idol dressing gown in preparation, because the real honour of wearing the Starfleet uniform this week has to go to our wonderful guest. Welcome, Space Junkie's very own Cold. Welcome back to the show. And I have to say, I love the uniform.
Thank you.
Look at that. That is
the collar works.
Come on, Stars, give me your uniform knowledge. What is that?
That is a 2399 Command Division uniform, I believe, without the correct badge, but that's fine. I'm sure they're in another transitional phase, just like in Generations.
This is the oversized uniform.
I've kept my chief petty officer rank from the charity stream.
Ah, there you go. That's saying the chief petty officers, they know what they're doing. It's a rank to be proud of.
No, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this week. We have a lot to talk about, mostly event winners coming up. We're going to spin the wheel in a minute to see who wins the sub for show titles. Lower Decks is coming to the game. We've got the new Uber campaign crew. We may have a little Timelines Talks originals, maybe featured around one of the most sexually voracious episodes of Star Trek yet. Talk about all event crew and some of the Tuesdays that have come up, but first of all, we need to spin that wheel. So let's just go over here to the wheel. Let's bring it up. And I'm going to press the button when it turns up. Thank you to everyone that submitted show titles. Let's see who wins the sub this week. It is Walking Egg. We will sort you out in due time. Event winners. We missed last week. We had Star Trek Armada, where we actually finally completed it at long last, and everyone's been making torpedo turret jokes ever since. Congratulations to SSR's very own Maelstrom for winning a 5/5 Archer. Congratulations to you. Other notable names in that event: number 5 Ignimur, number 11 Flash, number 45 my own Fleet Admiral now, Bear, Grand Birds of Pay's very own Bear. But big congratulations this week. Bajoran claps all rounds for SSR's very own Evan and Simons of Wales for winning your very own 5/5 Taylor and beating that skirmish. And it's one of the few times we've seen a top skirmish name that didn't start with Automaton 2000. We got a fleet shout out from him himself. An event win in memory of Simon. Thanks to SSR. Can't imagine winning without being there, and delighted to give their first full skirmish winner. Lastly, my housemate for providing food and drink throughout. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Evans. That's great. Congratulations.
That's the mark of a true gentleman, thanking the help.
Yep, that's it. Going on, accepting your reward. And just congratulating everyone. Other names: Ignimur, again, number 2, Nolian, number 5, Brody at number 9, Asimov 17, Dunjavin 22. Oh, we got a new subscriber. Cranky! 6 months!
Nice.
And you waited till we're live this time.
You
Way to
did,
go.
well done.
Wait, pull up in chat, folks. Let us know the sexiest episode of Star Trek.
Dungeon number 22, Flash 29, Black Knight 30, Trailfear 31, and we had to shout this out this week, Invisible, Space Junkie's very own Invisible at 69. Because... Nice. Oh, it's going to be one of those episodes. Cold, how did you do this last event? You are the guest. We will be shouting everything towards you today.
800 and something. Did okay at the weekend, and then my rank just slipped on Monday. Very annoyed over that. Thought I'd done enough. Thought 1.5 million would have been enough, but it was that kind of event. Everyone wanted Taylor.
Everyone wanted a Taylor. It's the mime.
Help! I'm trapped in a Star Trek 4 size box.
Maybe there's just all that transparent aluminum in front of her.
Aluminum.
Well, that's what they say, isn't it? It's aluminium in the Queen's country, but I have to cater to my audience. That's what we do. Yes, but yeah, no, great event. Did you guys rank? I didn't. I couldn't be bothered. But
I think I got rank 400. I had a lot of crew I needed to equip who were extremely expensive, including Carpenter Street Archer, because I wanted to be prepared for the faction just in case it was someone good, and it was. So that was well picked. I had a lot of displaced crew that I just hadn't bothered to finish off. So I was like, well, this is a lot of intel. If I don't use it, I'm going to feel really, really lame. So now I am the proud owner of a chewing gum sticker art version of Gillian Taylor that I can stick on my fridge.
The kind of thing you put on the bumper of a car, isn't it? If you can see
1-800 All My Whales.
Brilliant. Okay, we won't beat about the bush. The big news is Lower Decks is coming to the game, and we are very, 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 very hyped and psyched. Yeah, don't you give me that Vulcan sarcastic salute. It's finally been announced after Ben sort of came on the Q&A, came on the charity stream and said, like, we're very, very close. We're very so close to doing it. And it turned out, yes, it's here now. We've got it within an announcement that featured Badgie and Captain Pike. They've not only got the Lower Decks license, we also have the Strange New World license, which everyone's a bit like, oh, I thought that would have been bundled in. But yes, no, we have it, and the first crew to come out, which is we will talk about soon, is Dr. Tana. We'll get onto them in a minute. What do you think about this announcement? Do you think like the bundling together, like, is there anything you think that's missing from there, or did you find how are we finding this announcement? Are we excited? Are we hyped? Are we a bit like, oh, maybe, I don't know, what's going on here?
Again, I would have thought Strange New Worlds would have been a given. Like, if it was Lower Decks on its own, it might have had obviously had a lot of hype for people like yourself, Idle. But Lower Decks on its own would have been a big enough deal to throw in Strange New Worlds. It was like, okay, great, but Lower Decks.
Yeah, with Strange New Worlds, I was like, oh, right, that's your pleasant little reminder that everything in this day and age is its own separate license with its own separate contract that has to be negotiated by a separate set of lawyers for a separate amount of money, so it will all be fractured accordingly, so we were very happy to get that. I always thought it would be, it's got to be included on Discovery, right, because it's technically a spin-off. Nope, it's not Mailbox.
No, it is its own separate show.
It's here! It's finally here. Ben can stop dropping on every stream saying it's coming.
That's like half our Q&A questions gone now. We're going to have to find something else because most of it's, where's Lower Decks?
Oh, they'll start asking about Prodigy next.
This is the interesting thing. We've all been sort of theorising on Prodigy and feeling why it won't come, and partly because they've aimed that at children. You know, it is a Nickelodeon show, and this is a adult. You know, you've got to be 13. Well, you've got to be 13 or over to play the game. You know, with a credit card probably attached to the account too. So, you know, I think I can understand why we won't ever see Prodigy. Slightly sad, but I'd like to see Prodigy in it. But yeah, I can understand that. That makes more sense to me than maybe cutting other things out.
That, and it's another art style challenge that they want to, like, they'd spend a lot of time to try and get it right. Because again, it's completely different to TOS. It's completely different to Lower Decks. So I could see that being even more challenging than Lower Decks trying to fit into the game stuff.
Yeah, because it is sort of more of a Clone Wars style, stylized but more realistic. Whereas like Lower Decks, just no, straight up, this is the style. And it's like when you have such a strong thing to work towards, it's like a case of, okay, how do we meld these together versus, well, how do we find a good synthesis between the two? It's a different challenge. And I can see why they were probably like, you know what, let's not target the kiddie show. Let's just stay in our lane, as it were. And not to mention, there's so much Star Trek shows to draw crew from. There are still a billion fan favorites and requested crew that we haven't got. So I'm sure we'll probably not run out of them before we start wondering about the Prodigy crew.
Okay, flash question.
They got 2 seasons of Lower Decks to catch up on.
Yes. Exactly. Flash question, and this goes for you guys in chat as well. Crew you want from Lower Decks in the game, go. Bear in mind, we're already getting Tarn. We're already getting Badgie.
Captain Freeman.
Experience of Born Captain Freeman. Nice. Auto?
For Puffcast listeners, the sexiest episode of Trek unanimously was voted Timeline Stocks number 69. Thanks, folks.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I believe Shan intimated that Prodigy is not coming because it was their choice. As in they don't want to be associated with a gambling game, not the other way around. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
And
makes sense.
I know I'm still stuck on 3 topics ago, but dare we hope that they have figured out how to underpromise and overdeliver? The new boss battle thing looks much better than I think most of us thought it would, and they went ahead and kept saying you're getting Lower Decks, and so when they did deliver, they put the cherry on top with Strange New Worlds as well. So that's 2 in a row now that they've done pretty well on.
Yeah, you're right. Over deliver, under promise is quite a nice feeling because I expect nothing, but when it does come, I was like, oh wow, this feels good.
I'm on record also saying the only crew I particularly want from Lower Decks is Dr. Tana in the box. So if
that'll
you
be
get
a
that
variant.
Specific variant, that's the one that
Absolutely. I want. Let's see. We hope we get sarcastic Vulcan salute Mariner. I like that one. Jack Ransom giant head. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. As a boss battle, yeah, that makes loads of sense. All right. Let's not beat about the bush. Let's move on to actually talking about Dr. Ta'ana, Med Command Psi, point rank 85, respectable, and a equal sort of step up from Dr. Pollard. Gentlemen, your opinions, please, while I figure out my layout, because I need to sort this out.
The CMO of the USS Cerritos. She has a dry wit and a terse bedside manner, but is a trusted doctor to the crew.
What's the ratio of memory alpha to original content there?
I haven't checked yet.
I will cut you if you get in the way of my copy of Tiana. I will cut you.
Yeah, this is gonna be an event. I'm going balls to the wall with it. I've got a lot of boosts. How about you, Cold?
Unbelievable art. They just got it such absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
And yes, I have a lot of boosts saved for this event.
Oh yeah, we could get the Cerritos for a skirmish. That'd be a cool one. Yeah, I think this was she was the perfect choice because this is such a. It's not Mariner. It's not Boimler. It's not any of the main crew. It's just, hey, look, it's your bridge crew, but it's the fan favorite. And it's a cool skill set, and it's almost a perfect.
Red alarm.
Thank you, Isis Avenger, for following.
And it's almost a perfect choice to showcase, hey, look, we can do this art, because she's so heavily stylized that you're like, okay, yeah, no, that just fits. Like, you either just push it out there. It's a show of confidence, I feel like. And especially considering the fact that we've got Badgie coming out, like, I like that they're just going full straight into it. They're not going, look, here's a few humans, so you can feel it out. It's like, no, here's...
Yeah, you would have thought they'd have started with Mariner, Boimler, Tendi, and Rutherford, the heroes of the Lower Decks. But no, they haven't. They've come up with something good and something unique as well. Like, because obviously we expect Boimler to be Command IPSec, Mariner probably the same, but coming out and say your first crew is fan favourite Tana and Med Command. There you are, and a baller one.
Yeah, no, like, what was the last Med Command release? Would it have been Bridal Troy, like a year ago? Oh, yeah. Alright, yes. Well, it's nice to have a more viable Med Command. Like, they're all viable. All Voyagers are viable. Your single skill Scotty is a viable Voyager, technically. But someone that can actually use... Technically, he will go on a voyage. Like, it's viable.
When you're like, I know my dilemma, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and I need to just a 2-hour voyage. Yeah, there it is.
I mean, if you need to do your dailies real quick, that could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do appreciate that they could have gone with just, the very basic Starfleet Federation Cation physician, but they went to the effort of giving her exobiology and Brutal, which is nice. Like, those are antimatter seats. Brutal gets its event bonuses and is a bit of a niche one to fill. Like, I think most of the time I have to fill it with, like, EV Suit Narn or something like that when it pops up. So, when I... Oh, yeah, that's nothing to talk about. When I get this Tiana, she has completely upset my citation priorities. I was going to go and cite someone else.
Braxton,
like,
again?
Well, now
Your tube?
Oh, he's out the airlock. I've got rid of him. I bought that $10 LTO just to airlock him, just for the satisfaction. But yeah, like literally a case of I was going to finish off. Who was I going to finish off? Oh, I was going to finish off Grecian Carolyn Palamas.
Interesting.
And now it's like, well, sorry, Palamas, but back of the queue.
Okay, Makita.
Tiana takes precedence. Damn right.
Cold. Is this someone you're? I mean, you already said you're going to rank quite high for her. You're gonna, spend the wallet. You're gonna cite her. Like, say you get 3 or 4 stars. You're gonna finish it off.
It's just like, the power of the card is unbelievable. Like, it's number 4. Big book that up. Number 4, I think, in the command dip, med command.
Yeah,
skill pair. So yeah, she's really strong. They've really made a statement with this. They've gone out the gates with a fantastic looking card, proving that they can do this. And as you said, with great stats. So yeah, insta site for me, definitely.
Nice.
And I'm a site hoarder, as people know.
I know.
I can't go.
Don't make me write another soliloquy, 18 pages, just to get you to cite someone cold.
I may request that from you again, because it was that good the first time around.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that's the reason that site advice channel no longer exists.
Shut it down. We're getting complaints from parents now. They said, lock it away.
All right, also,
so
sorry. Go stars, you first.
No, I was going to say, like, so Cold, you say she's really quite strong. I'm attracted to the rareness of the skill set. I could do with a bit more voyage power. Otto, I think you're a little bit cooler on her than the rest of us.
That's where we're going.
Yeah. I'm just cranky in general, so I'm going to be shouting at clouds all stream.
Okay, he's in chat. You're Otto.
So there are a few. Look, how many of you actually have children here? Only if you have children can you be making those jokes. All right. Yeah. So the brutal trait, like you said, it's cool. 10 out of 11 crew in game who have that trait also have security. So this is a little bit a different flavor for if you're trying to stack your voyage and maybe you've had enough security, but you still want to match that. See, that's a little nice one. She doesn't do anything particularly well outside of voyages. Her base is fine, but again, we don't get tons of med seats in events. She doesn't have very eventable traits. The thing for me is I hit 10 hours. I think a lot of people watching probably are in the same boat because we're all elderly napping at our game players. But a lot of us hit 10 hours automatically. 12 is kind of sketchy. So Med Command is one of the weaker stacks for pretty much everyone. She's going to help you, but is she going to take you from like 1130 to 1140? Like, does that significantly increase things? No. Maybe later if they rejigger the boost. Right now, of course, DipSec is the highest and med size at the bottom or end size. So they don't normalize that. And again, we're not getting if they'd even just swapped her voyage power with Jillian Taylor's from a few weeks ago, that would have made me a little happier. So it's a nice card. I'm happy to see it, but I think this is one of the exceptions where they pull the cord and the big banner and the confetti flow down from the ceiling and they're like, holy shit, everyone must get this crew. Look how great we made it. And they didn't do that. So I'm thinking maybe they thought on name value and skill set that will sell it enough without having to go overboard with the stats. So yeah. Personally,
so how many copies are you going to dupe? How many idle? Oh, Cole, tell me how many dupes. How many dupes?
Sorry.
I'll buy them all.
No, I see the point. It is not like you're not later losers crew. Sorry, I keep on interrupting you, Idle. I do.
Fine. I'm just here to start the show. I just let you guys go on. Carry on.
That's fair. Yeah, she's not in later losers like territory. It's like I don't know. Do you think we'll ever get a Voyager like that? Like someone who has like such a primo skill set and that kind of power? Like, what's the closest we ever had? Someone like
Dexter's, I
Stranded
think,
Quark?
probably the closest.
Dexter as well, yeah.
I was going to say, this is what you were saying to us before, Tony, in like chats. You're saying, like, you know, they focus so much on Command DipSec and there being like the high all command psi and things like that. When we finally do get a Med Command, like, we're excited for this because this is the Med Command crew that's come along for a while. Since, like you say, Spock and Ichai, or even before that, Dr. Pollard was probably the most exciting one previously. But like, we wouldn't want more of these higher up in that, like you say, the later losers category, where like the Voyage score just goes off the chart to make some real utility loose. That's why Braxton still is one of the top, despite not being the number one anymore, is still the number one for his utility, is still being the most users, because he has, you know, a monster Eng, I think it's whatever his skills he's got, I don't know, I just pressed data core.
Do you even play this game, bro?
Barely. I play it through other applications. But yeah, that's kind of that. We want more of the top Voyagers.
Here's my largest complaint. The art is different from the established art in game, but it's actually good. So my worry is we won't be able to complain about the incongruent art styles, because if they're good on their own, but they're pulling like different styles for each new series, I don't know, what can we nitpick at this point? We must nitpick something.
We can always find stuff to nitpick. We've got an O'Brien variant we can nitpick the fuck later on. Oh yeah. And also, you mentioned her event, like, you know, she's not like as traity as she could be. Like, I've seen someone in chat mention, she could have been primal. I don't feel like that's really appropriate for her just because she's a cat. She's still a very much civilized being. But the one avenue I could see is that this is the equivalent of citing up your Garrix or your maybe even your Seskios or whatever. She is a recurring character, if not main cast, for Lower Decks, which is an ongoing show and could go on for quite a long time. There's no like set expiration date on that, so you could potentially looking at many variants down the road, including Tiana in box. And I don't know about you, but
can you imagine if we get like a Simpsons-esque 27 season run out of Lower Decks? Wouldn't that be something?
Wow.
If they're all good, then...
I mean, animation's probably, I don't want to say it's one of the cheapest shows to produce, but it's certainly one of the most easiest to match with like the aesthetic of Star Trek, to keep the jokes. I mean, like, Family Guy's been going on for like 27 odd million series. Simpsons is on season 674.
God damn you, Ensign Rivers.
Exactly, yeah. So, you know, there's no reason Lower Decks, as long as the act. But this is the thing with Lower Decks. Even if the actors decide, okay, we've done 5 seasons, we want to go and do something else, they can kind of go, okay, we'll do another. You know, Michael Hamm might just go, okay, we'll get some new characters in. Like, he's, you know, they've got the talent to pull good shows and with that art style. How do you feel, Cold? How do you feel on Lower Decks as a series?
I wasn't that gone on it on the first season now, to be honest. I'm in the middle of a rewatch just to kind of refamiliarize myself. The second season, though, the quality to me just improved massively.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, the first season, it just didn't resonate. Again, I'm doing the rewatch. It is starting, now that I've seen the second season, it's starting to kind of fit me a bit better. I'm understanding the characters a bit more because I've given it more time, like with every season. Like, and that's the thing with modern Trek. Sometimes the seasons are just too short for you to really bond with a character, bond with a series. It does take a bit of time. So with the fact that like the 2 seasons now, yeah, I can definitely get more sense of it. That's why I was excited when I saw Dan out here, like, because it is a character I do like. It's a fan favorite character. You said I'm one of those fans.
One of the things that I kind of felt with Lower Decks was that it took me a few episodes to really gel with it. I think it was like 3 episodes in, I was like, okay, now I'm starting to actually feel it. Because the first episode, I was like, this is a little bit too fast. I'm not sure. I don't think I would have picked that as the first episode. Like, it's a good showcase of the whole second contact, like, concept that kind of is the driving force of the show. But it's a little bit too zany for an introduction, I feel like. But then again, I'm thinking about it, and the other kind of thing is, you're talking about how with modern Trek you don't get the season length to really like learn and deep dive into a character as much. And I'm also thinking one of the other flip sides of modern Trek is that you no longer get embarrassing episodes like The Naked Now.
Well,
which dovetails with our theme of 69. Nice. And that first episode, it's obviously not quite at the same what the fuck am I watching energy as like the Naked Now when you're like, this is the second episode of TNG and they're already got their kit off. Great. But it is still a little bit full force for an introduction. So, but I think about the halfway is I think it was when Boimler described someone as being like Jim Kirk with Trip Tucker sprinkles. I think that was the point where I was like, okay, yeah, no, they know what they're doing. This is the show for me. Still haven't watched season 2 yet, so I'm looking forward to that. If it's uptick in quality, I'm looking forward to that.
You shit talking Naked Now?
Yeah. Do you realise you hit the trigger and I hit the one at the same time? We actually pressed that at the same time. I think you're right about the start of Lower Decks. I think they found their pacing better in season 2. I think they found they're matching the hectic energy with like not putting too much out there and talking too fast. I remember people talking about Lower Decks, and one of the complaints was like everything's happening too fast and the plot's like quite quick. And I think they definitely tempered the plot and the sort of the overall balance of that with the comedy in the later season. In season 2, we're not even on the later season. We're not on the elderly seasons yet.
The thing is, it has longevity, as you're saying, to with Family Guy and Simpsons. Maybe not that length of time, but it's got years of Star Trek references it could throw into it for the meta aspect of it, and the storytelling, if it continues to the quality of season 2, it's got a life and it's got some legs.
Definitely.
So what we're saying is Tiana is the most event bankable crew you could possibly cite. Dupe her multiple times. There will be multiple Lower Decks megas. We have never been wrong about crew worth before. Don't look at Mirror Stamets. He was never tier 1. Shut up.
No. She's subjective trash. You shouldn't go for her. Just do your regular shuttles. Don't put boosts in. Not worth it.
We were looking at a different card. Sorry.
You listen to those people on YouTube. They've all been cancelled. It's just everyone's getting fired, and don't go for it.
I will take the heavy burden, and I will take all the copies. You guys just put your phones down. Go out and enjoy the weather. It's lovely out there.
It's really nice start of summer. Go out and smell some flowers. Don't worry about this nerdy shit. Don't worry. Get off your phone. It's bad for your health. You should know better, young man, woman, person,
individual.
All right. Okay. Side question. Since we're on the theme of the Lower Decks Strange New Worlds announcement, based on the trailers that we've seen, what would be your card from Strange New Worlds that you would want?
Well, hold on.
Oh, go on.
Before we go there, there's a card I want from Lower Decks. Stars cover your ear for the next 5 seconds. It's Jeffrey Combs who plays the evil computer thing. So
he's wearing headphones. He's covering his headphones with his hands.
Yeah, that's the bit.
Wait, I ruined it for you, damn it.
It's fine. I'll forget about it by the time I watch it.
Yeah. You can't miss it. It's good. But yes,
I pronounced it Combs, so he has no clue who that is.
Yeah, that must be some other dude. Yeah, so on the topic of Strange New Worlds, have you guys read the 5-episode synopses they've put out?
Yes, I have.
Episode 5 is really got my interest. That one looks like some fun. Do we want to talk about it here? Do we want to spoiler it?
Why not? Let's do it. It's called Spock Amok.
Yeah, so let me read out the episodes here. So, episode 1 is called Strange New Worlds. Captain Christopher Pike comes out of self-imposed exile to rescue an officer gone missing during a secret mission. So, we want bearded Pike. We want bearded Horseman Pike. Athlete equestrian. We want him. That's an easy one.
We want him?
Yes.
I want him.
You tell me you don't? You want him with horse.
Hey,
that's what you want.
Yes, Shy. We'll make a visual signal and we're done spoiling everything.
Oh yeah, sorry. So that's episode 1. Episode 2, Children of the Comet, an ancient alien relic thwarts the Enterprise crew from rerouting a comet on track to strike an inhabited planet. That's one of those generate a Star Trek script with an AI prompts.
That definitely sounds like something Enterprise, The Next Generation, Voyager, and Discovery have all done. But
yes,
I'm intrigued.
And I enjoyed all of them, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's a nice to have to stand by, right? Episode 3, Ghosts of Illyria. Una must confront a secret she's been hiding when a contagion ravages the ship, incapacitating the rest of the crew. So we get a good old medical pandemic episode. That's always fun.
Can I stop you there very quickly? this is something I was talking to someone else on the Timelines Talk Discord. Join now, bit.ly/timelines talks. About Uhura. There is a non-canon beta book that goes into number one's backstory as being a human that was raised on Illyria. Illyrians were also featured in Enterprise. They were in the episode where Archer steals their warp coils and buggers off.
Oh god, are they going to try and blow up the Enterprise because it's named for the because it's named for the same thing?
So there you go. Nice little nod. Everyone likes to give Enterprise little nods. They're just like, we're proud of you. We're going to acknowledge you there. You're the little...
You existed. Congratulations.
You were good before you died.
Yeah.
The cherry on top of that episode, though, would be Casey Biggs returning to reprise a role.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. I'd be happy to have him back. Just get all the standbys. Episode 4, Memento Mori. Pike must find unconventional Starfleet methods to deal with a malevolent force that attacks the Enterprise. Again, that is an AI prompt.
Is it Trelane?
That is... Oh my... Can you imagine if they did Trelane? Can you imagine? And now this is the one. This is the one I am most excited for. Episode 5, Spock Amok. A personal visit causes a comedy of errors during Spock and Pike's crucial negotiations with an unusual alien species. That sounds hilarious. I want it.
And did you know,
I want goofy bullshit.
I was looking at the timeline as well. This is actually about 7 years before Amok time. So this could be Ponfar, the prequel. Because we have seen that T'Pring is in Strange New Worlds.
Can we get like a really lovely Michael Giacchino style rework of the Amok Time theme of like the good old TOS battle? Yeah, can we get that? Like a really nice orchestral version where it's...
I'm sure he's done it in 09.
You can barely...
I'm sure he's done it in the soundtrack to 09. He's taken nods from every little sort of like little original Star Trek soundtrack thing in there.
It's too fun for Abrams. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have allowed it.
Sorry, Frag. Yes, we already did talk. We did talk Lower Decks. I do apologise. We also talked about Gillian Taylor a bit in Wales, but they were. Oh, I'll tell you what. For Frag, I will say Lower Decks crew. Let's get Matt and Kamulu in. Let's get the Sata Saiyan officers.
Namer points out this looks like a very episodic show. Yes, none of those are connected.
No.
None of those look remotely connected to each other. These are 45-minute one and dones. It looks pretty much.
I'm sure they'll probably have a thread running through some of those, but it's kind of hard to spoil that in each episode without having like the context. So
yeah,
but yeah, the whole point of
the land union sing thread. There has to be something there.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the recurring thing going through it.
I think the whole point of them putting these out like that is to say to everyone, hey, we're going to be episodic. So
there was another little shout that came out when there was an interview with Anson Mount when they talked about the Paul Wesley Kirk thing, and they said, you know, what's going here, and he made a point to say it's a prequel, it's a show about Pike and the Enterprise. This isn't going to be. He didn't say in so many words this isn't going to be Kirk taking over, but he sort of said like this is the Pike prequel show. This is the prequel to the original series, so this is very much going to focus on what people are referring. It's going to focus on Pike and the Enterprise. It's not going to be like season 3 and Kirk.
That would be great if they just pull up like season 2 with a shot of like Kirk on the bridge leading things, and like Pike hands it off to him, and then he wakes up in a cold sweat. He's like, "Oh shit, it's still my ship. All right, good."
Someone's like, "You want a young martini?"
Won't get me yet.
All right, can we let Shyporn back in the chat?
Yeah,
now?
let's start. Okay, we'll start.
Suppose. Yeah.
Everyone, flag him in. Come on, Shy, come back, buddy.
All right.
Suffice it to say, there are cards I already want from Strange New Worlds, and I'm excited for both the series and for them to premiere in game.
Okay, let's move on to this month's Uber crew, Uber campaign crew, the season 4 Discovery Federation President Rillak, who is Cardassian, Bajoran, human, inspiring, cultural figure, diplomat, politician, everything you want. Everything you want.
Don't do the WRG.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
All right.
There she is.
Before we talk about her, let me shit all over this. Absolutely zero effort. And I'm going to read this word for word, the campaign announcement. Our next campaign, new leadership, will feature the President of Earth, Chancellor Martok, and the brand new Federation President Rillak. As with our previous campaign, the last reward of the ultimate track will be an exclusive avatar. Which, by the way, they had to push an update today to specifically label it Avatar, because I saw so many people angry that they weren't getting a fifth Behold. Anyways, the President of Earth is in 4 collections. Collection number 1, collection number 2, collection number 3, and collection number 4. Chancellor Martok is in 4 collections.
Number 3, actually.
Collection number 1, collection number 2, collection number 3, and collection number 4. Federation President Rillak will be in 4 collections. Collection number 1, collection number 2, collection number 3, and collection number 4.
It's like they're talking straight to me.
Yeah, no, you ruined Idle's mind, and now the brain rot has spread.
Is it
it's
possible,
like a cordyceps virus.
Is it possible that we've gone overboard? Like, have we
Yes.
jumped the shark with the collection thing a little bit? Could you give us 5 words maybe on who she is and what she represents, more than like reading off just a list of collections? Okay.
Yes, but
Yeah, no, you couldn't have why not just steal a Roddenberry quote about inspiring for the future and then be like, there you go, and now the collection sell.
Sure,
Sure. Give me a soft sell and then the hard sell. Don't just don't put the cookie right under my nose and say, eat it, piggy.
No collection sell. From watching you guys for so long.
Damn it, my Sherlock tendencies have betrayed us.
That's true. Dude, we had to twist Ben's arm the first time. We're like, trust us, people really like collections, you should do more. And now we're like, oh my god, what have we
done?
With the reinvigoration of the Federation, Rillak addresses the first class of Starfleet cadets in over a century.
So
See, that's nice.
That is nice. That's a good one. We won't. Is it too soon? It's too soon to talk about season 4 spoilers. It's only
It is much too soon because I have not seen it.
You've not seen it. We won't go too much into it. This is a crew I want. I liked, again, no spoilers here. Spoiler-free zone. I liked Rillak in the series, in series 4. I know, Otto, you haven't watched. I know, Stars, you haven't.
But her name's spelled backwards.
Red alarm! Red alarm!
Thank you, Brody, for following. Brody is
Red alarm.
Brody alarm.
Brody's got excellent comedic timing.
Thank you, Brody, and Brody for joining us.
Now, Idle, you're going to have to be my expert here because I'm flying blind. Could they have justified any other skill set?
Not really.
Dude, we just
Not
said
directly.
Jillian Taylor as a security primary. They could have done whatever they wanted with
true.
this.
Yeah. Gold, have you seen Discovery? What do you think? What do you weigh on this
Yeah.
skill set?
One of them, no spoilers, one of them doesn't fit. I
Interesting.
think we can guess which one.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd replace it with. Maybe a 2-steeler wouldn't have been the worst thing for this.
Ooh, that's dangerous territory. They don't do those anymore, really.
I know, but just one of them does
yeah.
not suit at all.
If they made her like a baller gauntlet card again with like a really good skill trait set, I think that could have forged on through. But
Right, traits do seem accurate. I can't think of another one to add to this. I think they did a good job on that, especially when they remembered to add her to the Cardassian collection.
yes.
But yeah,
She maybe could have been gambler. She took a few risks.
took a bit of nudging to get to that point. Again, no
true,
spoilers.
That being said, who are the only 2 Cardassians in the top 200 Void ranks?
Teska?
Yep, and Rillak as the only 2.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure everyone else, like Krellmer's there, I think he's in the 300s.
Yeah, he's down.
I'm pretty sure he's antiquated. Yeah.
Savage Sir Garrick would have been the one I would have thought of. He must have dropped down
I
recently.
think he's post 200 now. You think I was looking at finishing him off and I was like, oh, he's dropped a little bit because he's such a cool card.
Holub in chat, this is something we talked about earlier amongst ourselves. Do you guys expect premium top-shelf crew power for these Uber campaign crew who are essentially cash-gated? Now, they did put it up for 6,500, the Behold and the Time Portal. So that's kind of their ethical out to say, oh, anyone can obtain it. Just play our offer wall. And so, yeah, we'll come back to that when the poll's over. A minor spoiler, I guess, because I did watch the first episode of season 4. She does kind of, sort of counsel Burnham on something. You could always throw in a splash of med for that.
I can see it.
But
if you can give it to tourist squawk, you can justify it for anyone at this point.
Yeah, I agree with Cole. A two skiller works. I know they don't do them anymore because they don't want to be creative, but you could throw in an extra trait or two. You could throw some nice proficiencies. You're going to release a big boss battle thing soon that you just hyped. Why not give her either some big instant damage or some unique ability that we haven't seen before? So, kind of the only thing that everyone universally goes, for is the Commander sex skill set. So, but that being said, she's not a bad crew. The big base will play in a lot of situations. She has enough traits. Even with that skill set, she'll make a couple trait seats because Cardassian and one or two other traits just don't have a lot of options. So she's fine. If she weren't locked behind a premium campaign a crew that I already have finished, I would have gone for it. But it's locked for me, so I'm voting with my wallet.
That's fair. And it is also a case of, I think you said it, Otto, is that if you, and here's the thing, I say this as someone who has bought this campaign. Straight up, full disclosure, I bought this campaign. I just enjoy the dopamine hit. I enjoy that.
The rush of getting
and it also
AFB.
Well, it also stops me from buying any other LTOs because I'm like, I can't afford it because I've spent 25 thing on the thing, and also I don't feel the need to anymore because it feeds out the premium pool so often that I'm like, I don't actually need this to feel like I have something to look forward to in the game. But when you buy the campaign, you are essentially endorsing their choice of crew, especially here where it's like you are, to a degree, half the value of the Uber track is the crew. And while she is, yes, unique, she is also not unique. So to buy into that is to say you're kind of okay with almost anything being the Uber crew, because the only thing that's unique about her actually is the Cardassian trait, really.
I think that kind of goes for the premium track as well, because when you talk about the sort of the value proposition about what you're getting, a lot of people will say, oh, I've already got this card fully fused, or I've got them 4 or 5, but I'm getting it for everything else. I'm getting it for all the trainers and starbase components that I desperately need, But yeah, it is. I think they've either got 2 options here. They either go for the name power, which they go Federation President Rillak. I really want her for who she is. I liked her character, so I'm quite happy to have her on a roster. It's nice art. It's a good it's a good moment for her. Or you go for power and crew that have got some big unique thing. But then do you want to... I feel like the cards they want to make big Gauntlet crew or big Voyage crew, they put in events like they did with Union Q lately. And mind you, they put Second Chance Laris in the last one.
Yeah,
so,
that doesn't really
that
hold
doesn't
up.
Track, so, okay, I'll backtrack on the whole thing.
Let's call the whole thing off.
The last 2, the first 2 Uber cards are they're very specialist. So this one you want her because of the moment, really. The last one you want her because of Gauntlet. I haven't got this one. I will be getting it though. And it's not so much for her. Yes, she was a good character, but didn't really like her all that much most of the time. Just, I don't know, didn't resonate. But it's everything else in there. So maybe not the trainers, maybe not the starbase components, but there's sites in there. 4-star sites. I'd never go to my way to spend on it to get 4-star sites. So easy way of getting them, like.
There is also, because of the way they've laid the campaign out, you'd never have to take her. You can get 4 stars on someone else, guaranteed.
Which I put that feedback on the forums. I said, hey, if you guys had done that with the premium campaign, you would have had a 25 from me because I don't want Martok. I haven't finished. But even two other random crew from a Behold would probably be enough for me to bite. So.
Because it's like it gives you that ability to dodge, to use that all frozen Behold insurance, and
I really like that.
The fact that they did it for the Uber but premium,
that is actually my favorite part of the Uber premium crew. Is just because I only took 3 stars on Laris because there was one, I can't remember who it was. It was one crew who was just Like, oh, I need that card now, and I'm not going to miss out because I only need the 1-star for Laris. And the same with this with Rillak. I'm not going to use Storm Voyages. This is not going to be on. So I can get the 1-star to have her and say, hey, I've got on my roster. Look at the pretty art. There it is. Then I can look at the other options. I really like that.
Can we talk about the art, by the way? I fucking love her cape. It looks so good.
Hold on. Let me catch up with chat. For Popcast listeners, do you expect premium crew power for a real money release? 70% say yes, it's a big money investment. 30% say no, that's the dark side that leads to more whale advantages. So let me read from chat, because we did ask them what they think about how good stats should be for an Uber Trek crew. Trey and Seven don't even have access to the offer wall, so that's if you are kind of locked out. I mean, if you're VIP 0 and you don't, and you play on iOS or whatever, maybe you have a real tough time getting access to them. Crew is always a bonus for me. I get campaigns for the rest of it. She should have a higher voyage score considering she's more well-traveled than any other Cardassian. And chat's calling you out, Colt, because you just want dem packs so you can open up more AFPs.
Cranky is one to talk, is all I'll say.
Hey, if you wanna dunk on Cranky, he's not here to talk. So go ahead, Colt. Floor's yours.
We'll have the video. We'll have Get Cranky on next week. I'm like, have the what's his name? The wrestler responds like, "I'm gonna come down there." Show me the fury. Go on, Stars. What are you saying about the
size ready? The art is great, by the way. Like, I think that I know we've been talking about the photo reference sort of style they're going for. I don't feel like this smacks of it quite as much. Which I haven't seen the episode, but there's just something really lovely about the color balancing and the pose. Like, it's not just a standard looking at the camera, which I get really bored of a lot of the time. Even if the art's really good, like it was with like Laris and with Colbert, I'm like, thank you, Otto. It's nice to just have like that, because it's. I use this word all the time, and that's because it's important when it comes to art. It is evocative. It speaks to inspiration. It speaks to looking to the future. It speaks to being a cultural figure that people can look toward. It is evocative of the card and what it speaks to. And also, I had to give. I believe her name is Gersha Phillips. She's the costume designer for Discovery. No matter what you want to say about Discovery, and there are legitimate complaints that I will agree with, costuming is always on fucking point, man. Everyone always looks so good. Everyone's dressed so stylishly.
I really want their boots. The boots are so good.
Dude, you're good for at least 3 out-of-context quotes every stream. All right, without getting too spoilery, so her flavor text does say, with the reinvigoration of the Federation. I think even if you're paying attention tangentially, you kind of know what's happening with the Federation in Discovery and their stuff in the future. So it is cool. You have a Cardassian, Bajoran, human triple threat hybrid there. And someone was saying when she came out, it's like it's a great nod to, well, this is what how much do things change in what is it, 700 years? And she's like a good embodiment of tensions have cooled enough that not only are they interspecies breeding, but that someone of that standing is no longer a cast out. They can rise to the level of president. So that's a cool little intersection.
Yeah, it is a nice sort of evolution of that moment of going from TOS, where the Klingons are the enemy, to TNG when Worf is on the bridge type moment, where it's just like that evolution of, because it does embody sort of the ethos of Star Trek, which is about coming together and, understanding one another. So that is cool.
How did you manage to shoehorn a Worf is the future reference into this? The
Life
most inspiring
finds a way.
Yeah, okay.
Worf finds a way, yeah.
Are there any inspiring Worfs in the game? I'm curious.
Oh, Christ.
I don't think there are.
Are there any inspiring
Look,
Worfs? Does Worf have an inspiring moment?
I'm going to look on bigbook.app. That's bigbook.app.
Colonel
Nifty, you
Worf.
better be in chat talking. Kinda. It's borderline.
Cole, what are your top 5 inspiring Worfs?
I was actually trying to think of an episode where he was expiring, and sorry.
Chancellor Worf from in Attacking Into the Wind.
That was an inspiring speech, I'll give you that.
There you go.
No.
We could also get Discommendation Worf.
Yeah, I was
That'd be
literally
a cool
about to say that
variant.
when he accepts the discommendation. That's quite inspiring.
Yeah.
Actually, if they could pull off something really, really interesting with the art and have like sort of like a spotlight on him with Chudich Picard next to him and some kind of like shadowy figures just encircling them, that could be really impressive and unique art if they ever win for that.
You say that, and I was like, you know what? Yes, that would be really cool. And then my mind immediately filled in, but what if all the shadowy figures are the humanoid figure and they all have Archer face if you turn up the gamma? It's just a load of like archers in suits surrounding them. It's like, hey, hang on.
Okay.
You're here.
We need to talk about whatever medication you're having before bed.
Hair flips have been redeemed in chat. Genos asks, Stars, what's with the Dragonite over your left shoulder?
Oh, that's just the Dragonite. I can bring him over.
Yes, we know it's a Dragonite. I mean, what's the story there?
I mean, I like little stuffed animals. I think a friend of mine got... Yeah, this was actually from my friend Katie for Christmas. Dragonite is my favorite Pokemon, so he's cute.
Oh, Dragonite.
I also have a Slowpoke over there. No, Dragonite's boring. Like, Dragonite's big and cute and
Red
like,
alarm.
He's like...
Red alarm.
Thank
Red
you
alarm.
for following.
He's got big, like, automaton energy. This is what I imagine, like, automaton is like to feel.
Well, you'll find out soon, actually.
I will.
All right, pull up in chat. Which is the best slow evolution? Is it Slowpoke, Slowbro, or Slowking?
Slowking.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Slowking's coolest. And he has a great moment in Pokemon Movie 2000.
The Slowpoke is the most memeable, though. So
Slowbro invests in NFTs.
God damn it.
He's probably a Bitcoin bro because he's always one step behind.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. It's time to move on to our special episode 69, 420 Blazer section. So please, this is a repeat, but it leads to what we're going to talk about.
Sound of that. Now, I think I should still run against you.
Why?
Well, if I drop out just as you announce your candidacy, people might suspect something's up. It's better that our political leisure domain remain sub rosa. Sub rosa.
Sub rosa. Sub rosa.
You believe what you want, lass. Just dinna light that candle.
Connor, stop this. Stop this, please.
Beverly, it's all right. Have trust in me.
How would a normal person say that, Dad?
I did fall asleep reading a particularly erotic chapter in my grandmother's journal.
This is going to be sweet.
Yes, we are going to be paying tribute to Sub Rosa, the most sexually charged of the Star Trek episodes, which I don't think we've given it its proper due in the 69 episodes of Timelines Talks. I don't think we've ever sat down and really talked about Sub Rosa. So, Stars, you and Auto have conspired to bring us a cavalcade of crew from this memorable episode.
By the way, I know, Namer, you're my boss outside of the stream, but I timed you out for calling that Friends. It is Frasier, and it's the best show of all time. So, don't do it again.
So, I believe this particular batch of crew came about because me and Auto was like, we were looking for a Star Trek episode. Well, what have we not watched in a while? What were we feeling? And it's like, Sub Rosa. Because these are the things you do with friends when you have too much free time and a middling success show on the internet. You just decide, yeah, let's watch Sub Rosa for an afternoon. It'll be good for a gag.
And it's just fortuitous that we had Scottish extraordinaire Cold on this week to talk through him. So he's from the Boggy Highlands, and he knows he'll talk about all of them. He's intimately familiar with all of them.
I'll get the tricolor out in a minute.
How are you doing at rugby anyway? You're in the Three Nations this year.
Didn't do too badly, actually.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Oh god, it's getting provincial. All right. So we didn't want to blow our load too soon. So we started off with Governor Maturin, who does not have a species.
Come home.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Yes.
No, he
home.
said he didn't
I
want to
missed that
blow
last
his
word.
load, so I just, yeah. Well, hold on. We missed another hair flip redemption. 7S, can stars do a hair flip, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
But you know what? Hang on.
Oh, he's going the extra mile.
Oh. We'll get the... That was the
think he's
L'Oreal
dropping
treatment,
acid.
that was. Can you go stand under a waterfall while you do that, Will?
If I had to conveniently locate... I have a shower, I could do that. That's a very different show.
So if this guy's Governor Maturity...
Appropriate, though, for episode number 69.
That is, yes.
You're not wrong. Is my phone waterproof?
When are we all going to start maturing?
As evidenced by this stream, never.
Another question from the chat. Is Cole a Jacobite?
I am not.
Yes, I understand United Kingdom references. What?
I did have to Google it, actually, when I saw the question.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
I think it's a Doctor Who thing. Anyway,
I just Googled Dublin, Scotland earlier today, and it's like, you might be retarded. Please don't Google. Use Google again.
I'm feeling lucky. All right.
Governor
All right. Yes. He literally does not have a species. Like, this isn't Star Wars where they'll pick up a single random character in a cantina and decide this is that guy, and he has like he's a war veteran, he's this species, and everyone on this planet is like him. In Star Trek, they're just like, nah, he's just a guy with a weird pig nose. He really loves Scotland. He is mad love with Scotland.
We had to work hard for those traits, so he got 4, and that's it.
Yeah, we were trying to lobby. Yeah, it's a Federation colony.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were lobbying for Chef because he invites Picard up for a meal, but we were like, yeah, home cooked meal. But it's like, we don't know the quality of that meal, so we can't possibly ascribe chef status without conferring.
It's a microwave.
So
curry.
I did.
It's a
I
kebab.
checked-
It has to be a kebab. It's Scotland. Come on. It's deep fried.
I checked chefs earlier this week because I wanted to give it to someone else, but I realized they're actually pretty tight on chefs. Like, they don't do people that just dabble in cooking sometimes. They mostly stick to people that do it extensively or professionally, so...
So Riker with his off-brand eggs didn't get it.
No, not quite. We did squeeze in a little engineering because he does have a lot of dialogue asking about the weather control systems and this and that, so... There's not much to it.
Yeah, we don't pump out Command Dipsec willy-nilly over here.
And go.
Okay. Resigned Beverly Crusher. Super rare.
So
she rocks that turtleneck really hard. She looks great.
Yeah, no, she's got it going on.
There was a conversation thread on Twitter today with Gates McFadden about her, because some seasons she wore a wig and other seasons it was her real hair. I think it's like seasons 3, 4, and 5 she had a wig on, but she was saying some people were like, the Sub Rosa one where she's talking with Troy about her grandmother's erotic journal, they were saying like, which hair is this? She goes, that's all me, that's my natural hair. And I was like, yes. Good.
These are the things you learn about Star Trek as you get older. And as you're younger, you're like, tell me about the ships and the photon torpedoes. As you get older, tell me about Beverly Crusher's hair.
No, but between her and Shirley Manson, there's a reason the 90s informed a lot of my preferences in later life, shall I just say.
You seem like a Shirley Manson kind of guy, to be fair.
I love garbage. Garbage are great.
You seem like a Charlie Manson guy. Anyways, Design Bev Crusher.
Dude,
yeah, I know you can throw dip on pretty much everyone, but she's really brusque to Picard as she's trying to quit Starfleet and beam down and live with the candle. So we opted to skip dip and ended up she's a kind of a chunky, nasty 2-skiller, but there's a few traits there, and Hopefully we get that Botanist collection any day to add value to Kevin Uxbridge.
Can I just remark that every 2-skiller we know is just a chunky, nasty 2-skiller?
It's a deep-fried Mars bar of a crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah, proud Howard tradition of candle keeping, was what we'll put it.
I like this moment where she's resigning, and Picard's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm in love with a candle," and she's just like, "I'm doing it. It's my lifelong dream."
Even better, because she's just like, "No, energize, no." She's like 5 seconds away from jumping off the transporter pad, smacking the chief, hitting the button, and running back on. She's so urgent to get back down onto the colony and get that candle. She needs
Very
that
appropriate desperate trait then.
That's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, that got thrown around a lot in this episode. We were like, can we give desperate for every crusher? Pretty much.
I think the desperate trait has, it's like Eskimo word for snow. It has so many different connotations depending on the crew.
Dude, that's a deep pull, Idle. Well done, my friend.
Thank you. Sometimes my brain does work. Next one.
Okay, now push the button, monkey.
I've pushed the button, and it is Mock Baratroy.
Yeah, so we were sort of like having a... God damn it. We were having a discussion about this, because like, do we want to meld this with the Troy from Second Chances, where she has a romantic moment with... because it would be thematically appropriate to link those two together, because these two, it's very like 90s TNG. It's very, so then what happened style talking about men. But we decided, you know what, no, let's just do it as a super rare. I think she's pretty decent for what she is, but I'm mostly just proud of the arena text right there.
For podcast listeners, her arena text is, "That's bound to cause a dream or two." Yeah, I mean, you could do some kind of unfortunate fusion where that scene where like Troy and Bev are stretching each other out before Mukbar classes, but you know, we have to keep it classy here on Timelines Talks number 69. So
nice.
I'm surprised we don't just. God damn it! I'm surprised we don't have like a gigantic looming Floxo Naturel behind as part of the overlay.
So should have done that. I could have gone to town on this. All right. We've got... This is part one. This is part one. We've got one more in part one before we go to part two. But this is Ronan.
By the way, coming up in part two is literally my favorite, by orders of magnitude, my favorite fake crew we've ever done. And it's
sorry,
so good.
what? Sorry, fake crew?
Timelines Talks, say the line, Auto. Timelines Talks Originals.
Ronan.
There you go. Good monkey.
Actually, I am surprised we haven't had Ronan in the game yet, because that's quite a classical. He's quite classical. He reminds me of Professor Moriarty with his attire.
Well, he's got the right sort of era clothing going on. He wears it pretty decently well, considering the fact that he moonlights as a Bajoran politician. But
oh yes, cigar, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can also tell when we made this crew, because he has the different order, but same skill set as 2024 Picard, and that skill set has now been decimated, so you probably wouldn't want him now. Back then, you would have wanted him.
Total trash.
Yeah. But though, to be fair, he's pretty traity, I think. We were pretty generous for traits here, because they do all kind of fit. No brutal. He's not that kind of lover, not enough. He's not that kind of lover.
I mean,
he is very desperate, though.
Yeah, he does have telekinetic, because I think at one point he throws someone back with his powers or whatever.
Picard, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so you could always slip in something like brutal for that, but yeah, caregiver, because he does accompany the Howard women for generations, and they all say he takes care of them. So
is that the same kind of caregiver as, you know, Reunion Raffi is a caregiver, or because he's kind of exploiting them?
Well, kind of. I think that's that's a generous way to read it. Scoundrel. I feel like Scoundrel is appropriate here, enough. Like, I think Scoundrel and more than brutal fits here, but well, he is definitely creepy. Yes, he's very creepy. That's the point. So
we do trade all these moments after finishing the episode. So sometimes we'll run down the list and say, okay, does this fit, and then why? but then we completely forget our line of reasonings by the time the show comes around. So we did have a good idea once of why these are on there.
Once, yeah. We are elderly players after all. We can't be held accountable for the things we did before. Cold, as a native Jacobite, would you please give me your opinion on this man's state address and his authenticity as a Scottish gentleman?
A man about town, if you will.
Sorry, I couldn't not. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay because we do have two Irish crew to talk about later in the show. We will pay you your due. Okay. There is more coming in part 2 of that.
That's
section.
what. Go ahead.
So, those eagle-eyed folks may remember that on our chilled out stream that we had, Ben decided to go, no, fuck you, we're going to turn this into timelines, despite us talking about food and the finer points of Troy's wigs. He came on and talked about boss battles and showed us the live from Star Trek Chicago, all the demonstrations. And if you want to view that, you can see the boss battles demo on our YouTube page is up there. Go and view. And he goes through on some very fine paper. I think that's some premium paper printouts that he's prepared every single screen.
Dude, imagine how many toner cards. Imagine how many toner cartridges they went through for this presentation.
Man, that's like about £13 worth of ink right there. But yeah, so we haven't actually had a chance to sit and digest what actually we learned from that boss battle. So there's been a lot of people sort of talking about it in theory and things like that, and sort of people sort of working out what is what. But there's definitely more to the story than just go and follow. Like we theorized, like you said, right, you're going to fly a ship, you're going to fight a boss, and you're going to let a ticker up. But there seems to be a little bit more to that, and that's kind of what intrigues me. So, guys, I wanted to talk to you first. Cold, what were your thoughts to sort of? I assume you've watched it. What were your thoughts to his the presentation of the boss battles and what it actually involves?
I think we kind of expected it from different conversations, even you guys have had on stream before, as to this kind of mode in the game. What really surprised me was the bridge aspect of it. I think that's going to be the most intriguing part, because we've seen boosts come through being in the fleet already, collections, etc. These ship boosts, what they're going to end up being, will that help skirmishes? Will that just help arena? What way is that going to frame? That's the bit I'm most intrigued about, because if a fleet is going to be working that hard together to get this bridge in place, if it's going to benefit skirmishes, you could just see some of the whaley fleets, myself included, really just going for it as much as possible, because that's going to be something that's really going to aid us getting into the top tiers and definitely help in events like.
Yeah, we want to see how many microseconds we can get for a skirmish. How quickly can you go from 0 to Reliant is dead? That's what we all want to know. And with those boosts, I think it'll be interesting what it does for that. Arena, I hadn't even considered if it'll vary that. Because that could potentially throw the whole meta out of whack, because depending on timing and stuff like that, maybe the quick activation boost on the Kraken will just get outpaced completely by a different kind of boost. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to see the meta change, finally.
Yeah, I think I was about to say the same. I think that would lend to a rebalancing of Arena, especially at the top tier.
Polls
like
up in chat, folks.
Creighton is the one that, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to hear about everyone's Tweety Bird tramp stamp. So let me know what your next tattoo is going to be. I hear this argument all the time in economy-based games like RPGs and stuff, where people say, "Oh, you don't make those changes, you're going to upset the economy. You know, this item is going to be worthless, et cetera, et cetera." And it's like, this is not real-world economy. This stuff will balance itself out very easily. Like, if you make one thing obsolete, the next thing is going to rise. The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah. So you don't make that. That's a macho man, Randy Savage. Yeah. So I'm fine if they want to shake things up in a big way.
Thank you, Nifty, for subscribing.
If they want to shake things up in a big way, I'm fine with it. It'll balance itself out. And if it doesn't, they can always do a balance pass later on. But, how many people have used the same 4-crew in Arena for the last 3 years? Maybe it's time to really mix things up, so.
Yeah, and not to mention it would just flip things from 90% of crew are useless in arena to maybe a different 90% are useless in arena, or maybe 80%. It's like, well, suddenly you've added a different, you've added value to 10% of your crew, and suddenly that matters. That would be interesting. And it's like, when I think of, you go.
Sorry, I just saw your poll. I think Ta'ana on the lower back is genius. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah. Because when I think of Star Trek ship battles, I don't think of everyone sitting at their consoles mashing the instant kill button. I think innovative use of tactics and submarine battles in space, and I think of hiding in nebulas and all this kind of like wackadoodle bullshit where it's like things gotta have tailpipe type stuff, and so that's not really represented in game. And if we can change it so it's a little bit more like that instead of just killy, Zabral, whatever flavor of instant damage you like, that would be nice. It'd just be nice. But I also want to know what we're going to get from these boss battles. I really want to know what they think is. Are we going to get crew? Are we going to get ships? Are we going to get pulls? Are we going to get ISM? Oodles and oodles.
Well, we've also got the
would be nice.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Quantum would be nice.
Yes, very much so. There's also the 3 tiers of difficulty, isn't there? I don't know. Sorry if you spoke about that while I was out. Which
was there 3 or 4?
Could be 4. Oh, there's
tiers
of...
Demo had a lot more, but yeah,
Okay.
It had several on the screen, but we'll see.
Very much several tiers of difficulty, and we don't quite know how they're going to be triggered. Are they going to be triggered by the fleet leader, are they going to scale the rewards accordingly? Are you still going to get the rewards for failing it?
Well, so I guess you get reward for fleet. The damage you do as a fleet, and then additional rewards for how much you do on your own. Because he did mention, that people who do the most damage and put the most in will get extra rewards on top. So that's good, because you don't want to, even within a fleet, you don't want to segregate the casuals from the super top shelf. I try my hardest kind of people, because the last thing we want to do is be chasing after people. Are you pulling your weight? Are you doing your dailies? Are you doing this? And it's like, no, come on. If 5 people really want to try hard and do 80% of the work, that's fine. Then we'll reward them accordingly. And it looks so far like that's how they're going.
Yeah, the last thing you want is for the poor guy who comes on every 2 days to do his dailies, grab like a pull and go, oh, I remember that episode, and then turns his phone off because he's got a normal life. We don't want to be like chasing these people away, because they actually, they participate in events. They make sure that it's not the same 1,500 people cycling through numbers and some kind of random number generator. It's like you need a thriving population. Everyone needs to feel involved.
I wonder if there'll be a
well, that's another thing I'm kind of interested in, because I remember one thing that really stuck out to me when Ben was demoing it was he mentioned, there's a bug at the moment where the planet killer wasn't doing as much damage as it should have been. Where he didn't mention how much less, but it makes me wonder if it's possible to survive the entire time that you're there. If maybe you get a big bonus for doing that, like that'd be a really cool thing for if you stack hull repair crew, or if you get maybe a different kind of bonus for doing more damage in the same amount of time. Like something to incentivize different play styles would be really interesting, depending on how they structure it. But we don't know enough quite yet. But what they showed off was really interesting gameplay.
For Puffcast,
starting with the...
What's your next tattoo going to be? 36% say Dr. Ta'ana on the lower back, 29% say Deep Space Nine on our ankle, 21% say Ruck on their inner thigh. Gotta be a long one. 40% say Bajoran ridges on the nose.
Actually,
very cold, but that was of utmost importance. So
DS9 around my wrist would be quite cool. But anyway. Sorry, go on.
That would look like one of those, those like tribal tattoos that everyone had on their shoulder in the 90s.
Yes, or the cheesy one was where everyone had the Lord of the Rings around their wrist, wasn't it? They had the one ring. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Cole, go on.
Sure, everyone just got trill spots down their body, but what I was thinking was
good pick.
What I was thinking was it was a great start to have the Planet Killer. I think for the first big boss battle. What else could they potentially do? Like, one, we don't have the tactical cube. I saw this suggested on the forums. We don't have the tactical cube in the game, so that would be a good one to go up against. I think off stream we talked about Ransom's head. What else is there potentially that's out there in Trek lore we could go with?
The whale probe?
Giant green hand. The green hand.
Yeah.
Vija?
We also saw custom attack animation from it where it blasts damage out of the maw, which is so they could really be going above and beyond on that kind of thing. Someone mentioned Nebula earlier. How sweet would it be? Because a lot of people have been asking something to do with the galaxy map. What if you pick the system you want to have the battle in, and say some of them have different markers. Some are in a nebula, so that reduces attack chance by or hit chance by 50%. Wow. Maybe some are near a wormhole, so it does this and that. They could theoretically expand on this modularly for the next couple of years and just keep adding different kinds of play modes to this and really go somewhere with it. So, yeah,
people are suggesting some fun ones in the chat. The picture plant from Voyager, the telepathic one. The space amoeba from the Immunity Syndrome. That's fun. Phasarius. Yes, the cowardly lion god from Final Frontier.
His head.
Wow.
Everyone's head.
Shatner's ego.
Unkillable.
No one wins that one.
Go climb a rock.
Still need that. Need that Kirk. Need the casual Kirk on the bridge.
I wouldn't mind it.
Post-coital with the mountain Kirk.
I think you did a little too much LDS.
LDS.
Student radical at Berkeley.
I'm excited for fleet battles. I think I wasn't before because I thought, it's just going to be boss battles. I think, it's just going to be like then this. But the whole, like you say, Cole, like the whole ship bridge thing, a little bit of upgrades there, a little bit of customization. People like customization. They sort of showed off about you could have different people on the bridge. Whether they're going to redo artwork there, I don't know. I can't imagine them going to do a whole 1,200 different artworks for all the crew just to put them on a bridge. I don't quite know how they're going to do there, but.
So what if that was the carrot at the end of the stick instead of an avatar for the Uber track?
Oh, what, a new bridge crew?
Oh,
Bridge crew.
whichever crew.
Oh. A
That would be
new
good.
crew art. You could swap in, say, Tom Paris instead of Sulu.
That would be cool. I'd like that. Yeah. I like that idea.
I would like that more than the avatars, because the avatars are so gaudy, I don't like them.
They could even sell their own, like, separate, either LTO or something that runs semi-regularly, like the campaign, where, hey, you can buy either a new crew art or a new something that interacts with the system. I can see just off the bat a lot more options for them to monetize this than there was for crew retrieval. So
the other tilting point game that they released had that bridge feature where you had the set bridge and you had the different crew in that game.
Yes.
You could populate different seats.
Legends, that was very cool, actually.
Legends, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think what would be sweet for this, like they're starting off with the original series bridge. If over time they released the Enterprise D bridge, the Defiant bridge, the Voyager bridge, and then with the LTOs, as I suggest, you can have different LTOs for the main cast characters, slot them into different positions like Legends has. That would be appealing to players.
Yeah, that speaks to the Star Trek fans that people want that. Yeah.
You can tell that Star Trek has never gotten a Lego release, can't you?
Yeah, but why? Why don't Lego? I think it's I know. Had the license for so long.
So we'll pop Shatner's head off and put Janeway's Lego head on top of Shatner's body to sit on your bridge crew. Is that it?
Yeah.
I think people do those photoshops all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of horrific art, disguise Tom Paris is the crew you can win.
Let's do that. Hang on, that's my job. Someone wants to go to bed. Hang on a minute. I'm not prepared. Right. Let's talk about. Oh no, my button.
Push the button, monkey.
There we go. Disguise Tom Paris, who looks like he's just walked out of some sort of advert for men's personal care. Is this not the Luau Paris face, or am I just mad?
It's
not
slightly
quite.
different.
Not quite. He's got a different hat.
Oh well, there we go. That makes all the difference. Hey, you can win him in this week's event. How do you feel about that? Did I mention he's in 1, 2, 3 collections?
Now list them out afterwards for maximum efficiency.
He's in the Human collection, the Federation collection, the Starfleet collection, and the Undercover Operative collection. There you go.
An aficionado of all things 20th century, Tom Paris still struggled to fit in amid people on Earth in 1996.
In a howdy doody
Which
kind of
it said the fixed version. Yeah.
It said 97, and then someone in the forum said,
"Oh yeah, point of order.
They fixed
Ilea Probe is wrong because it lists her as serving on the Enterprise A. Someone posted this up. I apologize, I can't remember who, but someone posted this up on one of the many Discords. They're saying, yeah, this is just plain wrong. And I was like, how have we never ever? Is it that such a trash card? We've never looked at the
Yes,
card?
yes. The answer is yes. No one ever looked at Ilea Probe.
I mean, for me, I get all the Enterprises confused. I only know D and the one without the letter, so I don't know.
You would know the
rest
D.
of them.
You would know the D.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you get away with it because it's Timeline Stalks number 69.
Nice.
There we go. Thank you. So you mentioned the Howdy Doody. This is not Howdy Doody sexy. This is not. This is lame.
This doesn't speak to you.
It's not the wrong outfit. No, not at all.
Oh,
this is like I look at this and I immediately turned off. Not even just like as a gay man, but just like from an aficionado of Star Trek, and I actually quite like this two-parter. It has its people who say, "Oh, it's so stupid. They're just walking around in 1996 LA." It's Star Trek. They do dumb shit like this all the time. Yeah. This is not what he wears for 99.9% of the episode.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look right. Like I had the kind of the same criticism with Disguised Janeway, where her face looked a little bit wrong, but I could still at least tell what they were going for. I had to look at this person, and I was like, what, didn't he have a shirt on? And it's like, oh yeah. And then someone posted a screen cap of like a moment when they're walking on a beach and he takes it off for like 3 seconds and then he puts it back on, and it's like, guys, why did you take the one that people don't remember? People remember him talking to Robinson in the observatory, or having the shootout with the enforcer dude, and it's like, I don't remember this. This is a weird pick.
I don't remember Robert Duncan McNeil being this buff.
He's not.
This
is very flattering. This is Plutonian Chekhov. This is a Plutonian Chekhov job.
Artistic license, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've also blasted them in the past for photorealism and something like the Barclay one where they basically... Sorry. The Barclay one where they basically just copy a screen grab. So they took artistic license in this case, and so this is not like maybe the exact pose, but they did something a little different. So I do want the Magic Eye t-shirt back, but I can't hate them for just, trying something a little bit unique.
Yeah. Colt, your thoughts? What? I don't know your sort of stance on Voyager in general.
Like yourself, I do enjoy the two-parter. I agree, it's not the right moment from the episode for something that Tuvok was just giving out to him for a minute on screen. That was it. There's plenty of other moments where he's actually wearing the shirt that this probably should be modeled off. As a card, I'm only going to go for it because it'll help in the next event.
Ooh,
it's all he
a
is
cold killing Paris softly with his song. It's kind of true. It's like he's the bread, he's the butter passer of cards for this mega. Really, everyone, you want him for Tiana, and that's it.
Yep, that's it.
So, I haven't gone. I've gone a while without a good old fashioned art rant. So, I'll keep it though to two traits. He's missing pilot, which is silly. He pilots Voyager at the beginning of the episode. He pilots it at the end of the episode. He drives a car. It's very piloty stuff. Number 2, he doesn't have the astrophysicist trait. So while he's talking to Rain Robinson, he says literally, "I majored in astrophysics." So I think we can justify that one, maybe.
I feel like he should have the mechanic trait. I don't know why. It feels like he just walked out of a garage.
Well, he does work on the 1968 Camaro, the Camaro.
Yeah. Now, someone does bring up, Rainer M points out, if you Google Tom Paris Future's End, yes, the first 4 images are of him wearing the tank top.
Congratulations, you're now hired at WRG. That's all the work required.
But also, there's the magic eye, there's the magic eye, there's the magic eye, there's the magic eye. It's what people actually remember from the thing. And it's like, that doesn't always necessarily translate to good art. You don't always want to go with what people just remember. You want to go with like you want to go with good art that is like, fits the character, but I don't know, it just doesn't track for me. Like, there's this... And then there's the rest of the card. Then there's the actual stat part where he's a fucking lemon. I'm sorry, he's an Edsel, as Paris himself would call him. He sucks. Why would you want this?
Nah, he's okay, but he's just very boring. I don't care for this. I don't care for this skill set because we see too much of it. But he basically boosts a car along with Tuvok. He gets into a phaser fight and takes out his target from 50 meters away, like with one shot. When what's his name, Dunbar, the lackey, shoots at them, he hops in the car and they make a getaway. You could definitely fit security in there. You could even do maybe some engineering because that's like his background. But the command dip side is very, very retread. I wouldn't have gone that way.
Yeah, the diplomacy makes sense because he is the one who forges the connection with Robinson, but like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, this is just like a bit of a hodgepodge of a card, and I'm just not a massive fan of it. Oh, side note, is it him or is it Tuvok who completely just like ices Dunbar? Because doesn't one of them just like destroy an entire truck with like a phaser, and it's like you just vaporize that guy? Am I remembering wrong?
Don't they like fly down with the shuttle and do that or something?
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, it's the shuttle that does that. It's like who is it that just ices this poor hired goon with a phaser?
So was it Stars? Was it you and me were talking about? Someone keeps track of the hit percentage of everyone's phaser work, and apparently Beverly Crusher is in like the top 3 of all time because she doesn't fire it often, but whenever she does, she hits exactly what she intends to.
She don't miss. Yeah, I think when we were watching Insurrection, we kept on noting she never misses a shot. She gets a hit more often than Worf does.
Yeah.
It's good with the scalpel, good with the phaser. Doctor's precision. Okay. Let's move on. Guys, did you like Carpenter Street Archer? Would you like more Carpenter Street... I'm slurring my words here. Carpenter Street... I'm pressing wrong buttons on my keyboard here. No, not Hippie O'Brien. Let's find out. Carpenter Street to Poll is the super rare crew you can win this week. A multitude of traits on this crew. I won't mention the C word because apparently that gives me lots of eye rolls all around. What do we think of the art? What do we think of the crew? Are we happy getting this as a super rare? Do we think T'Pol deserves better?
T'Pol does better than most Enterprise crew in terms of getting decent variants with a decent smattering. Like Twilight T'Pol, even though she's aged I still really quite like how unique she is and how she's a decent sub-in for Defensive Flops in some ways. I think she could do with some slightly better variants. Like, I think a lot of them are like command side dip and they're a bit boring. This variant, she's alright. I feel like this is a decent pick for a skill set. The art is pretty okay. I don't find it as instantly offensive as I found Paris's. It really does strike me, though, like, this is way more 2004 than Archer's was. Like, Archer's is very nondescript. Like, that could have been any period from, like, the late 90s to, like, now. Like, but there's something about this look. I'm not sure if it's, like, the T-1 billion from Terminator 3 coat. I'm not sure if it's the pumps. I'm not sure if it's the haircut. There's just something that's very 2004 about her fashion style, which is, it captures it. That's what they were dressed for. But no, I like it. It's a decent pose they've gone for. Like, hands in the pockets. Like, they've not gone for a straight shot, which that's kind of like the first bar to pass. Is it a straight shot? Okay, you are doing something right. That's another thing I didn't like about Paris, actually.
Talk to me, Cold.
And now you talk.
So, with both this card and Carpenter Street Archer, I actually went back and watched the episode, and I was thinking, why don't we have Zindi, Jeffrey, Dean Morgan in the game yet? The two cards very little to me. Archer maybe more so, but from that episode, Zindi, Jeffrey, Dean Morgan. Maybe because, as it's been reported a lot, that nearly destroyed his career. He never went back to acting after going through all that makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're between him and Lena Norse's character, they're the two we need in the game.
Yeah, I completely forgot that was Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but I was wondering why I remembered that as Zindi being... And we need more Zindi in general in the game. The last one added was the aquatic, and the Zindi are a cool species. We should get more of them, honestly.
Who else could we have? Who else is left?
The arboreal guy.
Yeah,
had him as
Smallwood's
Jannar.
character and
Is it Jannar?
no, the humanoid. He was the admiral in the flesh as well. The 8472 admiral.
I would like an
Need him.
original Zindi reptilian Denny Duquette. Is it possible that we could get that in game?
I was going to go for a Zindi's original avian, but yeah, sure, we can do that too.
Is the trait sped happy for you with this crew? Does this match with your expectations?
Along with Archer, T'Pol goes back to the 21st century Detroit to stop the Zindi reptilians. Okay, she and Archer both come from the same episode. They spell Zindi reptilians 2 different ways within like consecutive weeks. Come on, guys. A little consistency.
No.
All right,
no
this
consistency.
is a I got to gush a little bit. But first I'm going to complain. She's missing like 3 or 4 traits. A lot of the same ones that Archer's missing. They've said until they look, we've had this discussion. All they have to do is say, for balance reasons, we're not going to give someone 15 traits. Fine, you don't have to. But all they've said consistently is we want to be accurate to the episode. So if they're going to do that, they could blow the top off these traits. But as is, she's fantastic. At 6 seconds, you can get her attack boost up to 10, which is, I think, as high as it gets for a purple. That's pretty significant. There's a
Yeah,
trigger,
that's
whatever.
what Sarek and Mira Burnham leveled. Yeah,
I think they hit 9, yeah, so she could hit 10 at 6 seconds. Like you said, very tradey, 4 collections. She might get 3 or 4 more before it's all said and done. Top 5 base, number 15 Voyager unboosted, and the skill set's not a total killer. She has, 8 antimatter traits, 36 events to date, so in pretty much every area of the game she kills out. I think Gauntlet's the only one she doesn't really touch on. So if you're new, if you're a new player, what is this? What event type is this? She's rewarded in
Faction Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 4 copies. Well, even if you didn't throw the side on her, she's really, really good. Yeah, just excellent card, and maybe it's Idle who mentioned we've had a lot of super rare power creep lately, and she's no exception.
Yeah, so I also I was thinking about like traits she was missing, and I was like, wait, shouldn't she be Starfleet? Is she not Starfleet by this point? And I had to look back. It's like, no, she only becomes Starfleet in season 4. So if they actually got that right on point, I was like, okay, cool. Well, they missed out on a few other ones, but they at least got that right, because they throw Starfleet on some crew that shouldn't have it, and other people don't. Like, I think there are Stamets that aren't Federation or human, bizarrely enough.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, the art is fantastic at this. Yeah, it's good to see a good looking T'Pol as well in the game. So there's been a few dodgy ones that don't really fully match Jillian Blaylock, so it's good to see this.
Yeah, this is a decent likeness.
We don't see too many heals in game either.
I'm sure.
Yes, that's a pretty strong pair of pumps she's got going there.
I'm sure Naeem's zooming in onto the tie wrap around her waist to kind of go look at the detail.
Pinch and zoom. Pinch and zoom.
Pinch and zoom on Big Book Not App. All right, move on.
No, you have to do the Cisco maximum magnification. Yes.
I do think I notice heals most in Voyager. Like, if you watch Voyager sometimes, you'll just see, like, Janeway striding across a bridge, and it's like, damn, she's got a few inches down there. Sorry. Let's move on. Let's talk 69 Nice.
Okay. I'm sorry, we have to go to your mortal enemy, Cold here. We're going to have to talk about 2 Irish crew in a row.
For Scotland!
Oh, no, we're not. Yes, we are. Hang on. No, I got my things out of order. Yes, we are. Buttons don't
Monkey!
work.
Correct button!
Press the correct button on my stream deck. Hippie O'Brien. Cool dude. The personification, the anthropomorphic representation of 420 Blaze It. Hippie O'Brien is here to bring us another super rare crew, the final crew in this displaced mega. Gentleman Cold, how is your O'Brien representation? Because we've all been stunned with the amount of O'Briens lately.
All I can say is with the art, someone was celebrating 420 a little early, because that's not Halloween.
It's the same vein as Kira, isn't it? It's the kind of that you put them side by side and think, oh, the same person did this one.
Idle, there is some art that I'm going to put in the show chat, and it is relatively horrific, but I feel like it sums up my feelings on this thing. So I feel like I should give you the option to like to duck out and not look at it if you want, but I'm going to put it there. This is what I think of when I look at that face and that smile.
What the fuck? I'm not going to bring that on the stream. That's weird.
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Put that on the
It's just
Discord
like
under a spoiler tag.
that's from Bloodborne. For those of you who have played it, that smile that they've got going for O'Brien is so misshapen. It reminds me of that. That's how off this looks, and that's a shame because this is a really fun, charming moment for O'Brien. This is like a nice thing going on for him. It's like he gets to see Kira embrace like a moment of relative peace and tranquility in Earth's past, which is hard to come by.
That image you sent me just made me so horrified. It reminded me to take my medication.
Are you seeing Three Friends on your special show again, Idol?
Just talking to myself in the basement is fine.
But the thing is, they've had such mostly good art on O'Brien's. Like Racquetball, fantastic. Scapegoat, Scapegoat, Little Orange, but decent. I know we're killing on O'Brien in the game, but still, there's plenty of precedent to get this right. But I don't know.
What's going on with his
O'Brien is still the high white mark for me.
What's going on with the
Yeah,
trousers?
what the fuck?
Yeah, he's got 2 trousers and then a sort of side cape going on there, like a half a skirt.
That's weird. Hang on,
Is that like a half kilt? Is that is there an official thing for that? And he's also wearing kind of like a cork jacket. Doesn't quite fit in the middle, which if you put on weight would make that very awkward.
Yeah, pinch and zoom, very strange.
And he's tucked.
Trying to find Cisco O'Brien along with Kira ends up in the late 1960s, encountering a pair of hippies.
Yeah, he's also got his trousers tucked into his boots. The chav.
Wow. So I think part of the reason I might have struggled here is that the references, especially for his pants, are not great. I'm not getting a lot of decent hits here, but yeah, no, those pants are weird. What the fuck?
Okay, let's rehash an old argument that we had with Hippie Kira. Are they displaced? Because there is a limitation to their time traveling, but they go back and forth at will 4 times.
They have an exit. They know they're going to be able to be pulled out, which the idea with Displace was that it's kind of a one-way trip. But obviously, people do get saved, but they don't have any intention of returning or any major plan of returning. This is why the Voyage Home crew are not included, like Dark Ages McCoy.
Yeah.
Chat way on
They went back
this.
in time intentionally in Voyage Home. Same as this case, it's not displaced.
Yes.
In fact, I'll give you some art that you can show on stream. This is what he should look like.
Okay, yeah.
And it's the fact that they went for that pose with his with the shadowing on his face looks so odd. I feel like that's part of what gives it that that rough quality. It's
bring us up. There we go.
I don't.
It's
not a great likeness.
There we go. It's nearly there. It's something's amiss.
No, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Family Guy British people. Cold knows exactly what I'm talking about. Cold knows.
Yeah.
How about the card in itself? The Big Book has Big Book Dog app.
How many collections does he have?
Has rated him as tier 3.
Well, I mean, it's just pretty consistent power creep. Top 20 Voyager, top 10 base, 4 collections. They're happy to put this level out consistently for super rares and maybe a little bit less for legendaries. So,
yeah, and also not a bummer of a skill set like Dip Command Eng. That's a decent stack.
But really good for a 4-star. Don't think there's many of those at a high level in the game. So,
yeah, no, with this many good 4 stars, it's gonna be decent enough to throw a lot of crew at that faction, which none of you should be playing. You should go out and touch grass.
Yeah, no one ever.
No,
don't want to play the faction for this guy now. He's not that worth it.
Yeah, just take inspiration from the flower he's holding. Go outside, have a look at flowers.
Leave all the crew for us. It's fine.
So I'm thinking about things like portal dilution, things like all these stat boosts stacking up. I guess I'm kind of okay with them establishing a high baseline for super rares to help new players get caught up. Because you really don't want to be, sorry Trey, you don't want to be retrieving super rare crew if you can help it. Legendaries are just better bang for your buck. They last a lot longer. So the fact that they're giving these away, even at 3 stars, you're getting kind of a free campaign citation each month too. I guess I'm fine with it. Like, it does sort of invalidate older ones, but with collection and gauntlet and shippability, you can still make interesting 4 stars that will last for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, we just kind of reached a point where it's like, you have to accept power creep as part of the game, especially when it comes to 4-star crew. So.
I mean, 4-star dilution is a thing. Like this, it's going to get really harder and harder and harder to get. As more pool updates happen. I mean, golds is one thing. You can retrieve golds, and that's a worthwhile thing to do. But with purples, it's getting tougher. It's going to get tougher and tougher. Unless they come up with some other way, maybe some other new game feature that's coming out to target certain. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Yes. Don't say his name 3 times. It's not Beetlejuice. No. It is in fact not Botanist Sulu. It's Rumpelstiltskin, the infamous character from If Wishes Were Horses from the first season of TNG. No, DS9. Fake fan. Has come in the Tuesday pack, last week's Tuesday pack, in fact, but we will talk about him because we missed him. This was an interesting episode.
Fairy tale character who appeared on the ship to observe the unique phenomenon of imagination.
Okay.
Fairy tale character.
Is this the shortest character in the game? Not counting Age of Sail.
Humble Doctor, Runaway Poe, Mother Horta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
You forget we're elderly players.
They should have scaled him up like hilariously large. So all you see is like his hands.
You make him giant Spock size. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Hold on. Does Star Trek ever reference Jack in the Beanstalk? You know that?
Do. I feel like that's a Naomi Wildman thing.
Magic beans or something.
They've done Cyrano, the Cyrano story like 15 billion times. I'm sure they must have done Jack and the Beanstalk at least once.
Chad will help us out with this one because they're encyclopedic in their knowledge.
I'm sure Memory Alpha has a page on it.
I just want a Timelines originals now of like Jack and the Beanstalk. That would be so cool. Anyways.
Maybe he's wearing heels. That's the explanation.
So the question is, why did they not release this on St. Patrick's Day?
Because it's not Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Is he not? Okay, I don't know my fables and my lore. I don't
He
know.
actually, right. Fun fact from DS9, he would have been a leprechaun if it wasn't for Colin Meaney protesting.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Because Colin Meaney actually had like the pull as at that point, like major Hollywood actor to say, no, I'm not acting opposite a stereotype. You get that the fuck out of here.
Well, it didn't work because I assumed it was. So.
Yeah, but that's because you're an idiot idol. I love you very much, but
I'm an uncultured swine.
Cold, can we get some clear audio of you saying they're after me, Lucky Charms?
Oh my god, why? What is wrong with you?
Come on.
No.
I'm
going to keep talking. I'm not encouraging this racial discrimination.
If he's willing to do it, then, you know.
No one else does this.
Dude, you do a southern accent for literally every non-British person.
Not... Alright, fine. Do you want to pull 6-packs for this shit or not?
No, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Just, come on, we'll peer pressure him.
Cole, just plead the fifth. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Idol, tell me more about the copy that you pulled from the 6-pack.
He's there. He's in my roster.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Money well spent.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's a cultural figure. He's resourceful. You know, he's going to fill out that resourceful 160, which I'll fill once I get him cited up from my Uber campaign. So, you know, that's worth it for me. But I wouldn't encourage anyone to do that because I'm a madman with my own crazy priorities. Like, who does that? Cold? You've got something to say?
I may have one, and I may have 2 Zulus, so I am guilty.
I'm not alone. See, it's not just me.
See, you've seen me pull packs on this. Like, I've no portal crew left, no 4-star portal crew left to get. I'm going to be the same again when they do the next portal update.
Dude, Noff and Off just blasted you.
He did.
Idol says he's a cultural figure. Idol says he's a cultural figure and then has no clue who he is.
Let me tell you something. When I rewatched DS9, there are a few episodes I skip. One of them isn't Alamarine, but one of them is Wishes Were Horses.
You need to swap that next time.
Yeah. If Wishes Were Horses is fine. It's not that
I've watched
bad.
it a long time.
I think
It's where Cisco
pretty
gets his
awful.
baseball.
I
It's where he
kinda
gets his
hate it.
baseball.
I also
is it?
hate Buck Buckeye.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, this is Bob Buckeye as well, isn't it? Yeah.
I know. I what's wrong with Buck Buckeye? What did he do to you?
All right, I tell you what. When
He won the
next
championship, but I was
episode-
betting on the other team. Come on. Fucking
Next episode we'll watch together is that one, and you can try to convince me that it's okay.
Yeah, I'll be over here like it's not that bad, and you'll be like,
Guys. Can I
"Ooh,
just...
brother."
What's the name of the Alamarine episode?
Was that your macho man?
Move along. Yeah, that's
Move
my
Along
best.
Home. Guys,
Move along home. Yeah.
Move Along Home isn't that bad. There's like one bad scene where they do the dance. The rest of the episode's... Oh, and okay, Bashir leaning against the wall going, ah! But the rest of the episode is fine.
When that turned up again in What the Dub, I could not believe how bad it was. I was like, dude, you did not deserve a paycheck for what you did that day.
But look, that's the law of gravity. If you have something so incredibly super dense that it drags down everything around it and it gets sucked into the vortex of suck. So it really is bad enough, especially Bashir in that moment, that it kind of ruins the whole... I think you're just sweet on it because you turned it into a Star Trek Adventures episode for us.
Which was very well run and very good fun to play.
I need to finish putting the second part of that up on YouTube, actually. I'll work on
Yeah, you should. It's been a billion
I
years.
want to run. I think Cranky and some of the Suncoast people have been asking me to. I've been trying to get some people together to run a Star Trek adventure. I said, haha, I have the campaign for you if you want me to GM it. I was like, yes, it is my Move Along Home 2. Electric
Boogaloo.
Yes.
There we go.
Nice.
So this is a fun crew, and they made him good enough to use or to be relevant here and there. So I think that's a win.
That is absolutely.
You don't want to make meme crew like too good, but he's good enough to be usable, so that's fine. And he's fun.
Yeah. Idol, I have to ask, if you thought he was a leprechaun, why would he be holding straw?
What kind of question is that?
Which he never holds it in the episode, so he should be Timeline's original.
Leprechauns not hold straw? Is this a thing? Like what?
No. Why would leprechauns hold straw?
Why would anyone hold straw?
The Rumpelstiltskin holds straw because it's part of the fairy tale.
Is it? I don't know. I'm a Star
You're
Trek
a father.
nerd.
Have you never read any
You're the one
fairy
You're
tales?
the one here with kids. Have you never read them the story?
No, I read them the Gruffalo and Room on the Broom, not like the old stuff.
Okay, but can we
Thomas
get a
the
moment to
Tank Engine
imagine
and the Mr.
that
Men.
in this like move along in this like in Wish for Horses situation, I want to imagine the Gruffalo stalking through the halls of DS9. That's hilarious.
By the way, shout out to anyone from Latvia who knows the children's fairy tale of Schlopter Klopter. I don't know the plot, but it's very fun to say.
All I'm imagining is as a man like planting his legs and then just going whoop, and then taking off.
It's
Excuse me, let me just get out my Schlopter Klopter.
All right.
Anyway, nice, thank you. Moving on, the final crew for today is this week's happy birthday to George Takei. Not Martian Cork, no, bloody hell, button's going the wrong way around. Botanist Sulu, an art we've seen before, was leaked quite a while ago, was in the files for quite some time, but now they have released Sulu and Gertrude in a celebration for George Takei's 85th, I believe, birthday. This is
Takai or Takei?
I don't know. I've always said Takei.
Hey?
Takei?
I think it's Takei.
George
It's
Takei.
gay, yeah.
Because I remember when he was talking about him coming out as gay, and he said that if you want to use the word gay, just use the word Takei. It's like
okay.
that, doing a whole bit about that. Yeah, we need Shy here to comment on this because I have feelings about this art. That likeness is
he doesn't do that. Like the only time he holds, the only time he's with Gertrude, he is looking adoringly at it. Really, he's not just kind of looking worryingly at something in the corner, and then he goes to eat with Janice Rand.
I'm also a little bit worried about what he's doing with his hand there.
Not just me. Not just me that lowers the tone.
Right? It's that same job. Like they got that. There you go. Thank you, Red Aaron. You get me.
Thank you, Red Aaron.
Speaking of super rare skill creep, like man, that's a hefty voyage rank.
Mm-hmm. Number 2.
It's robbing the stalk. Yeah, I know, Trey. Yeah, it's what the kids call it nowadays.
I thought it was the stem. This is the stalk. Oh no, what's now?
It's Stem Ginger.
Yeah.
By the way, he is the number 1 unboosted. So
I changed my glasses.
Really?
You put a pop-up saying change my glasses. I've got them on.
The boosts don't favor him right now, but he is the number 1 by unboosted, so he may go up and down, as it were, as the boosts go on. Sulu enjoyed botany as a hobby, taking care of a carnivorous plant he called Gertrude.
Yeah, so Naima has a question for you, by the way, Idle, and I think it's a valid one given
Do
our
I have
thoughts about
Sulu's
the
old
art.
art? Yes, I actually do. Somewhere. I'll have to dig it out. Give me a second.
Let's put WRG on blast for a minute. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, too right. No, you're fine.
Yeah, so this art has been in the game, for years at this point?
God.
Long
Since
time.
before I was playing.
And essentially, the TLDR is the face was more accurate to George Takei, but the plan to Gertrude did get a big glow up. So in this release, it's very detailed hands.
We need to Frankenstein them together, clearly.
Yeah, there we go. So, left new ones on the right. Left is on the old. Yeah, the left is.
So you want young hand and old head, basically, is what I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, like the one on the left is just better. It just is. It's odd to me because like Ben has talked about this about how they have like a few crew who they keep in reserve for if there's an emergency, and I think they mentioned Android Mud was one of them. Because they had like a rights issue with Thelev. That was like for the elderly players who remember. And I feel like this was probably one of those art, and they were like, "Oh, it's George Takei's birthday. Let's throw that out there." So it's a bit odd that it's the old.
They have done something with the shadow on his jacket there. Because if you look at the shadow on the old one, it's a bit messy, it's a bit splodgy, but the new one is a bit more dynamic.
Yeah.
It's a bit better. So I'd say the uniform and the shadow from Gertrude is a little bit better, but
well. It's not like egregious. It's still in the right spot and everything. I think it's a case of stylized versus realistic a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Apparently, the old art came from when he was an option in a player's choice poll. I forgot about that.
It predates that actually.
I remember seeing that player's choice poll and going, "Oh, they're bringing that art in." And yeah, there's a few old arts that are still sort of knocking about. Yeah. He's a bit tall.
Sulu might have some of the shittiest golds in the game. Like looking at that 6-pack, where it's like an undercover Sulu who has great art but awful like stats.
Mirror, Undercover, and Astro Sciences are all pretty poopy. And Tribble Sulu by default is his best one, but
still only okay. He was on my 12-hour voyage, so I have an affection for him.
His purples are awful too. Fencing Sulu, Crafton Sulu, Sulu of the Body. Like this is his best one by a mile, and because of the voyage score.
Really, right? And it's like
for his birthday.
Happy birthday!
Here's a decent card.
Yeah. And 85th, I think 85's a milestone. Do you not? Why is this a 6-pack and not a birthday? Behold, I mean, like 85 every 5 years is a good enough milestone. I would say, like they're not going to do it that often.
To quote WRG Ben, we really tried to get him into an event, but we just had to put him in a Tuesday instead. So.
They tried.
Clearly, Gertrude was displaced from her place of origin.
Red alarm! Red alarm!
Right,
Red
thank
alarm!
you for following. Thank you very much. Okay, not much more needs to be said here. If you pull a 6-pack for him, which how many copies have you got, Cold?
2.
There it is. Were you going for anyone else in the pack, or did you just want a random number of Sulus?
I still needed a start on. I think it was Mirror Sulu.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Mirror Sulu.
That is certainly a crew you have.
Okay, so here's a good theoretical from Big in chat. Would you pay the typical 1,500 dill a birthday behold for if you wanted, say it was 2 golds and then this purple? Would you do it that way?
No. They did that
Sulu,
before,
no.
and I was like, no, hello.
Kind of reminds me
But I mean, you're
of-
pulling 650 packs for a less than 1 in 3 chance to get the purple.
It kind of
Or I
almost
could
reminds
wait
me
18 months.
of the it always reminds me of the Picard Eladrel and EV Suit Tuvok kind of proposition there, but maybe not as diluted.
I think the math makes sense for. I think a 1500 Behold is a better bet than a 6-pack pulling 650 dill for each.
But then you're
I mean,
inviting
I
people
get that
to-
it feels skeezier, but how many people have pulled like 9 or 29 packs trying to get that Anxious Kirk in the past, you know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. If I recall, I actually struck out and you had to save me on that one.
Yeah, there we are. Okay, I think it's time we continued with part 2 of our Timelines Talks Originals section on Sub Rosa, since this is episode 69. So let us continue with the next one. The Scottish man himself, Ned Quint, the infamous...
All right. This is totally not stereotypical. Cold, can you give us your best dinner light that candle?
Yes, I will do. Dinner like that candle.
There we go.
Pretty good, eh?
There we go. It's got the strength to it. I approve of that.
That's definitely a 7 battered Mars bars out of 10.
That's the rating we're going with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
by the way, this is the last serious one before we go completely off the rails with these fakers. So buckle up.
yeah, we have to lull you into a false sense of security. So here's a pretty good super rare, I think. Like I would go if he was in a 6-pack. I think you gentlemen should go for him.
I appreciate you've brung back the gardener trait.
Yeah, we kind of had to.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He's the groundskeeper essentially. So.
I mean, it's like it was significant enough to be mentioned in Eromotic Syndrome Picard's campaign text back when they cared about that kind of thing.
Yep.
Everyone was like, Gardener collection, is that coming? Gardener event? No.
Never. It's been removed. It no longer exists. So yeah, second engine dip, I feel like that makes a decent amount of sense. Like he goes kind of off the rails and tries to mess with the colony's weather system, and he has a kind of hilarious moment when he dies, where he just kind of gets blasted back by the green fart gas energy, and then just kind of just rolls overhead like a child playing on a climbing frame, and it's like, my guy, I know this is 90s Trek, but come on, you couldn't have gotten a better. Come on.
I like that he's got the plaid. He's got the plaid hat too. All he's missing is a set of bagpipes.
Just ask, who thought of Planet Scotland?
It was an old TOS staff writer, I'm certain.
Dude, they tried their best to distract from the rest of the plot. They're like, "What's the most absurd thing we can think of so that no one has to talk about the rest of the show?"
No, you know what it is? It's the fact that they locked in Beverly's last name as Howard, and it's like, okay, well, that's a traditional Scottish name. It's like, so it has to be Planet Scotland, right? It can't be anything else. It couldn't just be any normal colony where it hasn't a Scottish family. And it makes me wonder, what if she'd been, I don't know, what if she'd had, an Esperanto last name? What would that have looked like? What would Planet Esperanto look like? Would it have been like a Red Dwarf episode? Oh, dear. Dinner like that candle.
All right, moving on. Next one. Reanimated Felicia Howard.
I think Big is the one who requested this one, so blame Big.
I'd love
That
the
is a creepy
traits. The traits make it. Sorry, go.
Oh yeah, no, I think I would actually go for this art if they got with the creepy coffin. Look, yeah.
So basically, make her Prophet Kira, with the arms out to the side, except instead of white lightning, it's green lightning.
I'd actually want for once I'd want a straight on point where it's like a top down view of her in the coffin, and she's like,
oh god,
just go for the full weirdo creep factor.
Wait, do you include the coffin in her art? Or is
yes, and it's an equipable item.
Oh, and with a stunned Geordie and Data at the side.
Fusion crew. So she's bananas good.
all the traits are accurate too. So,
counselor.
She was very she was like a counselor for the entire colony. It's mentioned in the
yeah, they mentioned. I think
We're specifically
when she's being eulogized.
About... Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you want a real Felicia Howard too?
Oh yeah, yes.
Chef? You want a Timelines Originals? Is that it?
Well, they did it with the Curzon. Come on, fan favorite Curzon Dax.
I think Chef might be borderline because she does make like herbal teas and stuff with her knowledge of roots and plants. But I don't think they do. They mention actual food? I don't think so.
Well, it's Scotland, so the quality of food varies.
Yeah, Namer points out in chat. 400% damage is 6 seconds. Hey, dude, she blasts Geordie and Data, so come on.
Yeah, no, she gives them the wall up. I was tempted to make her a gauntlet beast, but I was like, it would be kind of infringing on, like, I don't believe in taking away value from older cards, so I wanted to make sure it didn't infringe on Gladiator McCoy. So I was like, you know what, 6 second boom, so everyone has to see her. I want, like, you to be blasted in the face by reanimated Felicia Howard in your arena every day.
All right. On to the pièce de résistance of this.
This name. Come on. Come on, talk me through it.
So there's a scene where Crusher visits her grandmother's grave.
And for podcast listeners, what did you call her?
She is named Nana Visitor. So that's what. How many times in all of Trek could you possibly name a crew Nana Visitor? And it actually works. Anyways,
this physically hurt to write. This transcends dad jokes.
Dude, I was clapping like a wind-up monkey when we were doing this one. So this is a scene after Ned Quint chews her out and says, you know, he's a curse on the family, didn't light the candle. So they come back together then over her grave, and she sort of apologizes and tried to make amends. So that's why we slipped the diplomat trait in there, and then it's less egregious than some. So there weren't a lot of traits you could really do for this crew.
This is my favorite fake crew. This is my favorite fake crew we've ever done. Sorry. Timelines Talks Originals.
Do you think if they did release this, if they actually made a Crusher as a Nana Visitor, would they get sued by Nana Visitor or Gates McFadden first? Who would be the first one to go, no, this is misrepresentation? And there'd be someone, there'd be like Carmen at WR to be like, you just don't get it. You don't get it. It's the joke now.
You don't get my artistic vision.
Yeah. And there'd be people on the forums just going, what? I don't get it. You've made a mistake. WRG is shit.
So we're having fun here.
Yeah, like, Eric Nelson points out we're not pronouncing it Nana. It's Nana Visitor. So it's a completely different.
No. Getting jiggy with it.
Walt wants to know, at one point, does romantic become desperate? Yeah, we qualified this.
And she lights that candle.
It's true. The candle remains unlit. Therefore, she is not desperate.
All of a sudden, Al Green music starts playing. She's like, where's that coming from? Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, I had to take off this. Stop. No, okay, no, stop. Stuck 'em. Anyway, as she herself would say, sorry we got off to a bad start.
69 episodes later, this is what it's come to.
I can't think of a segment more emblematic of our show, to be honest.
We do have one more crew in the hopper.
We do.
We mentioned weeks ago we wanted to redo Kaldos 4 Crusher is a travesty in game. She's so flavorless, and they went hard a port to avoid all the meme ability. So we infused this one with the proper amount of meme potential.
Also, would you like to read the flavor text as is your tradition?
The last scion of the Howard women, Beverly Crusher often enjoyed particularly erotic chapters in her grandmother's journal and would read one or two to relax. So you get a little bit of Minjilt McCoy in there.
It's not wrong.
And her rune ability is, I wonder if I'll have another dream tonight.
Can I just express my confusion? Because you guys put these on one of our Discord channels, and you just put this up and it's like Caldusfall Crusher, and I'm just like, what? We've already got this card. I was like, all right, I'll put it in, and you guys will explain it later.
And she does notably have the marksman trait because she blows up Ned's little candle. It's like this big candle. She's standing, 30 feet away, and she hits it, of course, with her first phaser shot. So technically marksman.
She's also romantic.
Yes, that's one of the...
Don't you just copy over what he sends you?
Traits I have to copy and paste. The skills I do, but the traits I have to type.
But he spelled romantic right. So when you copied it over, how did that change?
Sorry, the traits I have to type. I type those ones.
Okay.
I get it mostly right.
We're gonna give everything like xenoanthropology just so we can see how well you can spell these.
This is why I hate when you give them like 16 million traits. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Challenge accepted. I also feel like this is more representative of the episode as the skill set. It's not a particular. She's not very diplomatic in the episode. I'll be honest. I don't think that fits her character at all.
I missed a chance to make the Size sex med.
Yes, you did.
Idle, how could you miss that? Come on, man.
Only on this episode.
This is the worst 69th episode of anything ever.
Worst 69th episode of your life so far.
Right, time to start a new show. Get all the stuff from scratch. We'll do it like fucking Marvel Comics and just start it from zero again. It'll be a new edition. We'll do a new backstory.
Everyone's like, oh, number one, I could jump on here. Oh, it's the same old shit.
All right, Cold. Which of these...
Your STO episode 69 better be worth it.
He's going to start streaming once a day just so we can get to it quicker, I think.
Let's really start hammering it in.
All right, Cold, which of these from your lovely bonny homeland of Scotland is your favorite?
Oh, the grandmother. I did that. If that is the art, it would freak me out.
Reanimated Felicia Howard.
Felicia.
I think they should use that art just for the shock value. I would go for that card at an event just for like the pure. Just put it as my avatar. Rank highly.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Right? You don't want it to all be beautiful, high quality photo renders and like wonderful meldings of like cartoons, and sometimes you want something stupid, man. That's why I went for Ephraim and Dot. I wanted something stupid and great.
Yeah.
I hope WRG Joe picked this like one episode to watch. Just,
yeah, he does watch our episodes. I have to hope. I got my fingers crossed.
I did say I would send at some point. I'm going to send him all these fake crew sort of like things I've mocked up from your thing. So I'll just bundle him.
I tell you what, I'm just gonna after the show. I'm going to send him Nana Visitor and Reanimated Felicia Howard.
I think I can tell you where we were. Hang on, I can tell you how many fake crew, not including these 10 we've done today.
Timelines.
Timelines.
Fury has left the
We
chat.
have come up with 106 Timelines Talks originals.
Oh wow!
Not including the 8. So that's 112.
That's enough for a game launch.
Timelines Talks originals we have come up with. That's like 6 years worth of work for them. We've done.
How many have they since made crew though? I think Kim Peck was one.
A couple,
Three or four.
Yeah,
I think there was also Prophet Kira was in there. Yeah.
And we take
Be
credit.
interesting to see
all-
what they match up, actually.
I would like it noted that each time they adapted one of a make crew, they made them worse. But that's fine.
Clearly, the real Timelines game you should be playing is the one we are making. We are prototyping it on this show. We are making Timelines 2.
We get taken down so quickly, and not just because of the copyright infringement.
I do have to say though, even though this is like a meme set of crew, Ronin makes a lot of sense for them to add sooner or later, probably in some like 6-pack or something, along with Professor and whoever else.
But only if they're making a Shakar variant.
He probably will. They like to copy and paste screws, so.
All right.
We were discussing. We might get young Kempek. I could do a Timelines originals on that. That'd be fine.
Is he slim?
I had to. No, you know, I had to imagine he's still fat if Kalis tells him that he's still fat.
Oh, that's true.
Big boned. Big boned.
Can he be holding up a sword and wearing the original armor of TOS? Kempek and TOS armor. How about that?
They can do Mark Top that way, why not?
Indeed.
Potato talk, yes, potato talk.
Guys, this has been certainly the 69th episode of Timelines Talks. Cold, thank you very much for joining us. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you.
Idle. Of all the souls we have encountered in our travels, this was the most
dank
69th.
Human.
Cold,
thanks for having me on the 69 show. It was an honor.
We could have thought no one else to bring it onto the show, but you.
Such sincerity from the.
You've endured a lot, and we thank you.
Seriously, thanks for having me. Really good show.
No, it's been good fun.
Thank you.
It has been great fun. We will be back next week with episode 70 of Timelines Talks, but keep an eye out. Yes, we'll think of something equally stupid to do there. God knows. We'll be back.
How about Threshold Fake Crew?
Have they kind of already all been done now? Could we have
Probably
Janeway
most of them,
awkwardly
yeah.
hitting on Paris the whole episode? Is that a crew we could do? Because she is very suggestive to him.
Naked now.
The
Naked now.
That's a
I
good
could
one.
do that.
Yeah. There we go. That's the.
I think
next
I already
challenge.
have Crush. I already have Crusher done, but the other ones I don't.
Yeah, we could have Mike Shimoda. Drunk Wesley.
Dude, imagine the laughing audio clip from Picard for Polywater Picard. That would be so good.
Correction, sir. That's blown out.
That's a good bloop. That's a good blooper too. When Spiner goes, correction, sir, that sucked.
If you guys haven't seen it already, I recommend Star Trek Intakes, where they integrate the bloopers back into the proper episode for hilarity results.
Very good.
Dude, my favorite one of all of those is they're in the briefing room talking about something. Jordy's just like playing with his little prop, and it lands on the table. He goes, "Oh crap!" And then they just keep talking like nothing's. This is like this little. All right,
very good.
Yes, Lean Mean 215. We're going to try to keep these under 3 hours in the future so that people will stay awake.
I thought the aim was an hour and a half.
We're getting there, baby steps.
We're getting there.
We got to wean ourselves off of the tangents. We got to wean ourselves off.
Okay, we will be back next week. Also, keep an eye out. We are doing a new Star Trek Adventures campaign, the Klingon campaign, which if you haven't gone and seen the intro on our YouTube page, go and look. I've spent a lot of time featuring Big McLargehuge on shredding guitar, who's done an amazing solo for that. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to debut with these chuckle fucks about that campaign.
Also, on May 21st, we are doing, I don't think there's any story written for this yet. We are doing a shuttle pod show. 2 men in a shuttle together, something like that. And it's going to be me and Stars live and in person at my house. And we're both going to be inebriated before the camera starts rolling. So tune in for that May 21st.
There's been like improvised Star Trek adventures. And I've been kind of trying to work out how we can do that, but yeah, we'll work on that. I'm
gonna die.
Check the events page out on the Discord, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll have a usual show. We'll have a chilled out stream coming at some point as well, and we're gonna have lots of guests coming on, which we need to work on the future of things. So then things are happening, things are moving. But from myself, Colt, any shout outs, any final words?
Shout out to all you guys. Thanks for having me on the stream, and shout out to Equals J _, I don't know, whatever you call it, stupid. Space Junkie.
Job security.
On that note, we will see you next time. Ta-ra!